most of the time. This is all made for the sake of comedy and poor sophomoric taste. The skits are parodies, and any similarity to real people or stories is purely coincidental. Any insults hurled at any one human is made in jest. We're just covering our bases for when one of you skins your knee on an internet insult. We love you. Again, this is all a joke, whether you laugh or not. Not just the show, but this waking existence. The great cosmic giggle. Try not to take it seriously.
Rode with Steve and Craig along the river's flow, ahead the Ozarks sing. Laughing loud neath the Missouri sky, them boys were wild and lean. Floating free like Huck Finn's fantasy on currents swift and clear. Joking through the hills, lots of honky-tonk, with nothing left to fear. So we raise our voice under country skies, adventure in our song. Steve and Craig, them lawless lads, just drifting all day long. Saw Becky Sue with her hair sun-kissed, she waved from the old elm tree. Said Steve and Craig, y'all got room for one, with a wink as sly as can be. Steve tipped his hat, Craig just laughed as Becky sang her song. With the spirit of the Mark Twain tales, they're legends in their prime. Becky, Steve, and Craig, a trio so entwined. Through the heartland they did climb. They caught catfish with their bare old hands under that setting sun. Becky's laughter echoed across the waves, the escapade just begun. Camplight tales and fireflies in the night serene embrace. Steve wore a grin while Craig played the fool, making memories with each soul, making memories with each smile. Chasing freedom with the grace of the breeze, life's better with a smile. Oh, yeah. Trouble's just a word that they don't understand. Paddles splash a rhythm, just a backwoods band, casting lines and tales, each one taller than the trees. Those river jesters, kings of every stream, singing songs of rivers wide, where Steve and Craig do roam. Their laughter's the map, these hills their home.
Say what's up, boy.
They didn't hear anything. I'm bored.
Hey, well, Craig is not here.
I got it now. You should be good. Hey, everybody.
Craig wasn't here tonight, so we got Boy in the building. Look at this guy. Oh, my God. Let's start the show off how we always do it, with a little bit of our favorite artist we've ever known.
I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through withdrawals. You don't have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch. Maybe. Ooh, since it is cold and lonely, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone. And I say, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I say, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, I don't let this be the one I touch. Ho, 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 ho. See the sun light up the sky. I can hit the road in overdrive, baby. Ooh, this city's cold and empty. No one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone. And I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. one I trust. I'm just wondering why to let you know. I can never say it on the phone. Will you never let you go this time? As I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the light. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. And I said, hey, hey, I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the light. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. Oh, I'm just coming in to let you know. I'm just coming in to let you know. Hey, everybody.
Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary, sentient, artificial intelligence, flora, fauna, fungi alike, to the Hoosier Sophisticate Monday Extravaganza!
We did it, everybody. We made it to another Monday. I'm so glad to be sitting here with my two buds, Mike and Craig. Oh, Craig couldn't be here.
Boy.
Boy is here. Mike, what's up, buddy?
No, not much.
I'm feeling good, bud.
I feel good because it's a place, Hoosier Sophisticate, where the weirdos try to learn and spread unconditional love while we feel free to question our preconceived notions of the world around us. Can we do that with
We
you?
can sure try, pal.
Can we do that with yous? Hey, Danny Lagood. Hey, Danny Lagood. Tag all your friends named Danny Lagood and get them in the chat. We got highlight. You can thank me later. Highlight. You can. Oh yeah. Can you do a highlight or an everyone? Everyone must watch
sure,
this
I can.
program.
Hang on.
Everyone must watch this program. Get it, Ro. Get it, Roy. Get it, Roy.
Roy?
Lieutenant
Roy boy?
Dan. Lieutenant
boy?
Ron. Was that Lieutenant
Dan.
Ron?
So it's Lieutenant Dan. From
Please
Police.
do that with us. Okay, I don't know
like an
what
old
that
ninja
means.
movie.
Feels like an old ninja movie. Shirley and Elise are here, and Shirley and Danny Lagood. Danny Lagood in the building. I feel like Steven Tyler right now.
I don't. Who's Danny Lagood?
You don't know Lagoodsy?
I don't know Goodsy.
You don't know Goodsy.
I don't.
Goodsy's one of the best of all time.
the
Hey,
greatest?
Shirley, remind Boy who Danny is.
Okay, well, thanks for being here, Danny Lagood. The good?
Good.
Is that what it means?
He's the good.
The
La
good?
good.
That's French for the
La
good.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
French
that
for the
is
good, man.
Oh, man.
Thanks for being here, Danny.
Thank you, Danny. We're going to do this show just for you, so we'd like everyone to go ahead and not tune in, all 3 or 4 of you that are also tuned in with Danny Lagood. This show's for Danny. Danny, what you into, bud?
Well,
19 people. Get out of here. Danny Lagood is supposed to be the only one in here. I'm getting upset. And I promised myself earlier, Craig, you heard me, in the mirror
I did.
before doing
I
my
did.
affirmation.
Yes, sir.
I said, I am not going to get angry this show.
Sure.
I am not going to do it. Remember? And you were like, you will. You will. And I was like, how about I punch you right now, mister? I just bit my tongue. I'm so mad.
Dude.
I'm so mad. I'm going to
It
smash
appears
my own
that
tongue.
Danny Lagood is the coolest MF
Ever alive. But
So
he's got the MF gene.
He's in the right place.
He's got the MF gene. He needs to
that
take
checked
some.
out.
Yeah, he needs some methylfolate.
Methylfolate.
He needs some methylfolate.
We'll clear that up.
I got some folated vitamins. You guys want some folated vitamins?
probably-
Methylated.
Can I get Zen?
Do you want methylated? Get this, and I'm gonna get some methylated vitamins. Okay, all right, Mike. Tell us tell us what we're gonna. Yeah, you want vitamins that are methylated.
You want vitamins that are methylated. Okay.
All right. So, Craig, how you doing?
Well, Mike, I won't get too much in the weeds on it, but I had, it's always tough to say the greatest weekend of my life, but buddy, it's in the conversation.
All right.
It is in the conversation.
You heard it here.
Okay. Give me with some multivitamin and minerals for men. Is this gonna make my hair grow back?
For men's, man. No, dude, you just gotta come to grips with death, bro.
I'm good with the death
I
part.
know.
I just want to look good
Don't.
when I die.
Dude, you'll look better bald. and you'll feel
I will
better.
not. I'll tell you why I won't look better.
Well,
Bob.
everyone, like, when you wake up in the morning,
I
it'll be a
have-
gentle reminder every morning. You're dying, dude.
I'm here
it's
for
good.
that. Listen,
This
there's
is good.
there's plenty of ways I can look at
Look at this.
myself
This
and be
looks
like,
great,
this
dude.
guy ain't long for it. Every time I look in the mirror,
This
I go,
guy ain't long
This
for
guy
it.
ain't long for it.
Oh, I thought someone said that about us because I was going to get mad. You say that
I'm
about us?
saying that about
That's
us.
cool.
Yeah, you get it.
That's cool.
You get
These
it.
guys,
They don't
though,
talk to us like
they
that.
don't talk to us like that. Mike, did I give you one? What is it? A methylated folate pill?
Sure.
It's a multivitamin, bud. You want to live forever?
Men, though.
All right.
You want to live forever?
Forever. Cheers.
Live forever. We got any cool comments there, Mike? Let's see here.
Let's see what we got here. We
Oh,
got Shirley.
what brand are you taking? What brand are we taking?
Zen?
No, well, I'm zinned up for sure. Somebody's playing in the garden.
That's Danny Lagoon.
I don't know if these are methylated.
The Joe Rogan experience. Okay, that's enough. All right.
The who said that? Kick him out.
Get
Mike,
him.
you're in charge of kicking people
Kick-
out tonight.
Yeah.
All right,
outta
James
here.
Alexander.
Get outta
This
here.
is
Just
old Jimmy Alex.
This
See
is
you
a
later.
kick-out party, ladies and gentlemen. We're just kicking people out tonight. I can't
I'm gonna get some of
wait.
this black coffee while I swallow this real.
Yep. I got you.
Just a reminder for next time, we're going to find a sound that's a boot, just kicking.
The Joe Rogan experience. My God, James
dare- how
Alexander.
dare you,
Helbig.
James?
My
How dare you,
God.
Jimbo?
Stuart Wells, what's up,
up,
buddy?
Stuart Wells?
I will be monitoring the Twitch feed in case anyone's like, who's monitoring the Twitch feed? Who's monitoring the Twitch feed?
We've already read a Twitch comment. I don't know who. It was
Tonges?
from. Oh,
Tonges? Who was
Tonges,
it?
yeah, it was from this
No,
Tiff
Tiff
Jones.
Jones.
But I didn't
It was
want-
not Tonges.
I'm making a concerted effort to not use people's government names anymore. And you know what's
Cool.
a good way to not have your government name used?
Why, boy,
Twitch.
Yeah, 100%. Man, you can
YouTube.
say whatever you want.
Facebook,
there.
it's going to attach your name to it,
Yep.
and you can't hide behind your silly jokes.
Oh,
James
I know,
Alexander
and we have a
Hilbig.
warning for the 3-letter agencies who are tuning in tonight. Okay, get the call center ready. I'm looking at this. The CIA is right there, but I'm going to talk to the CIA right here in the FBI. Guys, get it ready because we're going to be talking about how music makes us feel tonight, okay? So I hope you guys can handle this.
If you can't tell how it makes me feel right now, but I'm
Well,
feeling
this seemed like a good
real
idea before the show, but now as I'm doing it into the camera, I'm having second thoughts.
Sure.
I am having a few second thoughts because they are picking that up.
Hey,
so that's cool.
Can I build a thing
Get the
that
call
ties-
center ready.
A thing that ties music together and what you're talking about with the CIA and the
Don't say
ATF.
it. Don't say it again.
And,
Don't
and the
say it.
ATF and the FBI.
We live in a country where you can't say
DEA
that online.
And,
Yeah, I gotcha.
DHS. And,
Yep. And
CPS.
ABBA.
Yeah, and ABBA for sure.
ABBA for sure. ABBA.
I wouldn't be even the least bit surprised to find out that ABBA was like a foreign. Did I turn you on to the When to Change podcast?
Of course.
It was just insane, like
Yeah.
about the Scorpions.
Yes, yes.
Well, first off, I guess ABBA won that whatever the movie that Will Ferrell made.
Eurovision.
That's a real thing.
That's a real
And
thing.
ABBA won it.
Of course they
That's
did.
how they.
Are you
That's how they
kidding?
got
They're
to
the
be.
best.
That's
They're
how they
some
got
of-
to be big.
We can stand in love. Oh, you went Dancing Queen. I went. When you're first in line, and it doesn't time, and you're not so free. Take a chance on me.
chance on
Take a
me.
chance. Take a chance. Take a chance. That
I've just always been a dancing queen at heart.
obviously, I danced one time at a wedding or some event, and it was Dancing Queen, and I was just trying to get people
And you
excited.
just kind of, like it's easy to throw your head back to dancing
Jen,
queen and just kind of twirl.
Jen, that's what I did.
It's a twirling
I had
song.
a time. And then guys were coming up to me later and calling me gay, if you can believe that. They were like, oh, Dancing Queen.
I'm sure it was the dancing and not the fact that you were giving them
I
all
was
hand
blowing
jobs in
them.
the parking lot.
I was blowing them on. I was like, call me that again, fella.
I dare you, pal.
I dare you,
Do it
bud.
while I'm doing it. Call me a
Don't
stupid
do that
name.
again. Don't do that
Call me a
again,
stupid
idiot.
name. Make fun of me.
Yeah, so
anywho.
ABBA's cool. But yeah, get the call centers ready because we're about to blow up the internet.
Sivo, I had a great weekend, bud. I had a
Did you
weekend.
now, bud?
I had a weekend for the ages, and it's tough to, I was telling Mike, I don't know if it's hard to always say my favorite weekend.
Yeah, you're always like, I had so much fun this weekend.
It's a Mount Rushmore weekend.
And I'm like, cool, my water heater broke and my
Buddy, that
kid
sucks.
escaped.
That sucks.
You know what I mean? No, it didn't. I'm just kidding.
okay.
I'm just saying my life compared to yours. Yours is like
Don't
fanciful
do that.
and free.
But the
Let's not
comparison
do
is
that.
the
Let's
comparison
not
is
do
a
that.
thief of joy.
I'm kidding. Anyway,
You
I
love
my
water.
life.
You don't want to do water heaters. I get it.
No, I just went and checked out a water heater. But hey, I'm an expert now. I fixed mine. Now I can go to this gal's house, fix hers.
You know right where you're at.
That's
That's
kind of
right.
nice.
You are an expert.
That's kind of nice. If don't call me if your water heater breaks, though. I don't want to deal with it.
So back on September 14th of 2023, there was actually maybe like a week before, there was like this surprise announcement that there was going to be a string of 5 shows, maybe 6 shows, for Maynard James Keenan, Tool's lead singer, Perfect Circle's lead singer, Pussifer's lead singer, for his 60th birthday. He did one for his 50th birthday, kind of similar, but the whole way that it was set up was a Perfect Circle, Pussifer, and Les Claypool's band Primus. And the way it was set up was the coolest way I have ever seen a concert put together, ever. All 3 bands on the stage for the entirety of the show, rotating every 2 to 4 songs. Most of them are 3 songs.
All the instruments lined up like side by side. Are they using the whole stage, or they have it divided in threes?
There's 2 levels. There's 2 staircases. Along the center of the upper level is 3 drum kits. On the corners flanking are 2 couches. And then, so there's always the 3 drummers sitting up there, and then there's whoever's not playing is just chilling on the couch, or they'll grab their instrument and just start riffing with the other bands. Bro, and, like, I get it. Not everybody's like a Tool guy, Perfect Circle guy, whatever, but if the experience itself is one of, talk about magic manifested. But that's the second day. Let's talk about, so I booked these tickets to go. I'm so excited. A Perfect Circle.
These are some of your favorites.
A Perfect Circle is, you're talking about 22 years of my life that I've listened to them, and people ask me my favorite song all the time. Every song ever made, I always say The Noose first. And I'm like, well, any given day it could be a Pink Floyd song, but I pretty much always say The Noose, and so that to me tells me that when I don't sit and think about it too much, if that's the first song that comes to my head every time somebody asks that question, that's probably my favorite song. And so A Perfect Circle is the makers of that. Also, if you've ever been to anything Maynard does live, it is just an art show. Like it's not just a concert. Like there's a comedy aspect, there's a visual aspect that is out of this world. And
what they have this time?
They had, the way there's, Red Rocks has 2 light board. Also, first concert ever at Red Rocks.
Red Rocks.
So buddy, I think I probably won't ever go to Red Rocks again. I ruined it for myself. There's nothing I'm going to go there and be like, that was just good. Yeah, that was all right. They had like the 2 sideboards, and then they had these vertical light setups that it's hard to explain, but like in between the can lights, they had like digital LED boards in between those, and so it was just, the whole thing was pulsating, and there wasn't any kind of holograms or anything like that. But the light show was pretty fucking intense. Depending on who was up there. I said the F word.
You said the F word. Write that down. Thank you, Mike.
And so, I got these tickets. I actually reached out to a bunch of my friends. I just put kind of a post out there. I'm like, look, if anybody's feeling froggy, on Friday these tickets are going on sale for Santa. I haven't decided if I'm going to go to Arizona yet or go to Red Rocks. And the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, I'm definitely going to Red Rocks. I've never seen a show at Red Rocks. I'm going to check that out, So
you snooched up one of the best too, bud.
So I
people to go with.
Oh, I know.
You snooched up one of the best, dude. One of the goats.
That's just another thing that made this whole trip
She made picking up glow sticks entertaining. Dude, I can only imagine what she would do with an event that actually induces excitement.
Spent 48 hours laughing and just like, well, first off, so we get these tickets. Well, she's the only one that was like, dude, if you're serious about this, I'm in. And
so you put it online just
put it out there and message a few of my friends like, dude, this is happening. You should probably
message a few of his friends.
Yeah. Steve doesn't like Maynard. I wouldn't even waste it on him.
No, you did say though, if it was one show that would make someone a fan, you're like, that was it.
I told her.
I was like, well, son of a gun.
I told her multiple times. I'm like,
I couldn't have gone.
Anybody who wouldn't or who doesn't get it, if they came here, there's no way you don't at least get this.
Yep.
And it's not about and I was, for what it's worth, as much as I loved him, I didn't get Pussifer at all. I did not get that project for years.
And Pussifer is
it's his thing that is just
no members of Tool.
Nope. No, there are a couple guys that play in A Perfect Circle that now play in it, but it's kind of been a rotating cast. Matter of fact,
Is Tool and Perfect Circle same members?
No members of that either.
Really?
Maynard's the only one that's the
I thought they had a little bit of crossover.
No, Tool's just Tool, and then A Perfect Circle is actually Billy Howardell's band, who was the guitar tech for Tool, and he played some songs for Maynard, and Maynard's like, dude, if you ever need a vocalist, because his idea for it was to have a female vocalist. And so he took Maynard up on it, and then they became what they became. But Pussifer is like Maynard's project. Like that's he says there's songs that didn't really have a place anywhere else that he just had to put down. That's why they're kind of all over.
What about Les Claypool? Is he in any of the other ones besides Primus?
He's got multiple projects, but none of Maynard's projects.
Oh,
so they're just
okay.
buds. They're just buds going back. So this is like friends playing.
This is like seeing almost like when Clapton and
if
Steve Winwood would
if
go
the Who
up.
was
Yes,
playing
dude.
and David Gilmour came out with it.
Oh my God.
So it's
that is
exactly
cool,
what
man.
it was. And what's interesting is I'm going to get into Red Rocks. I'm going to get into Red Rocks in a minute. But so we got that on the books back in September. Just like 6 months of anticipation.
Dang.
You
don't mind me asking what a ticket costs?
Oh, no, not at all. I thought it was going to be insane. I thought it was going to be $300.
Yeah.
And I think it worked out to be about $180 a piece after fees. Not bad.
I mean, at Red Rocks,
Not
for
bad.
For a show like that,
You're gonna pay that for a Tool show here in St. Louis.
Sure.
So
and that's what's the going rate for an average concert now?
Yep.
Mike, would you maybe look up what the average concert ticket is? Actually, that's interesting. I wonder what that is.
You might have. There you go. So in about February or March, I see this thing come across this other group that I'm in that Parangi is going to be playing. It's called the Cultura Music Festival, but it's just one night of music.
Who is Parangi?
Parangi is Mike. I listen to him in Medicine Space often. I went and saw him last year on 420 at Meow Wolf. One of my, top favorite artists, Spangle Parangi, when it comes to like worldly medicine music.
You showed me his videos a few years ago because
He's
he did a few
like
videos.
a live looping artist. He plays everything.
Yeah.
So I'm super. I saw him last year.
How old is he?
Mid 40s. Probably.
Okay, a little bit older than us. That's what I thought. Okay.
And he's like, you can trace his lineage back in the Brazilian jungle many generations of medicine people. So like,
no way.
And he's been invited by the Navajo tribe to do the Sundance every year, which is another incredibly cool thing.
Okay, so let's go to that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a whole thing. We should get into that sometime. It's a pretty deep thing. Well, I got a podcast for you to listen to, so then we can talk about it after that. But so he's there, and then Snow Raven is going to be there. So are you familiar with her? She's a Siberian
Once you see
woman.
a Snow Raven video, you may not remember it's Snow Raven, but
got
you'll
the
remember
call.
seeing
She plays
her.
a jaw harp.
Oh, her jaw harp,
dude. It was awesome. It was so awesome. There was Alexa Garcia.
Is hers different than yours? Like, is there something going on with her?
She's got a deeper. Well, she was wearing 4 or 5 of them, so she could switch in between them. Like, I've got a few of that, different tones, but I was telling a friend, I was like, I got to get a deep
because that
one.
deep one is like
the bass harps are awesome.
Oh man!
So this is going on the night that we're planning on getting into Colorado. So it's the Sasanta at Red Rocks.
Where is Red Rocks?
It's in Morrison, Colorado, just outside of Denver.
Okay.
Like 20 minutes outside of Denver.
Okay.
So we go, and I find out, along the way, I'm like, hey, the plan was to get there on Thursday. And there was actually a Sasanta show on Thursday and Friday. But we didn't think, we didn't want to take any chances, not be able to get out of town early and then get to the show late. So we chose just the Friday show. So we had Thursday wide open. Then this thing shows up at the Boulder Theater, which is 20 minutes further east of Red Rocks.
Okay.
So like, cool. It's 40 minutes from the hotel the first night. Red Rocks was 20 minutes from the second.
Dang.
So we go there. It's Parangi, it's Snow Raven, this like kind of slam poet Alexa Garcia, who does like this really interesting poetry like over like classical Spanish guitar. Pretty cool.
Okay.
And then this guy named Yusufa Sidibe, and he plays this kora, which is like this big like harp banjo type instrument from Senegal. And dude, we got to our seats just in time, front row, where he's like going around doing blessings with his instrument. and he'd wait till you made eye contact with you. And dude, he did this with like everybody in the room. He's just like blessing us with his music, dude. It was so cool. So he opened,
and you were like,
yeah, started burning. That night was so incredible, being From Me to You from Snow Raven doing her thing, and she is a freak in all the best
where
ways.
is she from?
Siberia. Yeah, way up north.
Yeah.
Speaks
God,
Saha.
she's wild.
And
dude.
so, like, she really put on an unbelievable show, and it was so intimate. We were up there, and then they were like, okay, we're going to take a 10-minute break, get all these chairs off the floor, because Parang is going to turn it into a dance party. And boy, did he. It was
What was the crowd like?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful crowd, like just very
Old,
attractive.
young.
All ages.
Yeah.
Everybody just had so much life in their eyes.
Yeah, there were a couple of idiot kids running around.
I saw there were a couple of little children running
always
around.
like a couple of kids that just got born on the beginning of the tour that are now running around, which a part of me is like, you can't do that. But then another part of me is like, what a life they're being born into.
Unbelievable.
What a life. They get to see Snow Raven out the womb.
Yep.
Like, not a bad little deal. That's how we're supposed to enter the world.
It was both nights were such amazing nights of music for completely different reasons and, genres and feels. And what they clearly
Older crowd for the Tool, Pussifer.
Yeah, I mean,
because are younger people
roughly my
in?
age, but there are some younger. There was a lot of kids with their parents, but also there was a little bit of a younger crowd.
Because it's
there.
probably time for like
Maynard's
a resurgence.
It's his 60th birthday, so I mean,
and their music's pretty timeless.
I remember when it was Sammy Hagar's 60th birthday, and I'm like, that'd be awesome. Go down to Cabo Wabo. That'd be awesome,
baby. A Red Rocker.
I remember thinking that, like, man, he's old. Like, he's a rock and roll star. He's old. But like, I was watching Maynard, watching him do that. I'm like, okay, maybe they will do a Setenta when he turns 70.
Maybe they will do Can't Drive 55.
Yeah.
Maynard's going to cover that.
You never know. But the first night was like, I was just blown away. And, we danced our hearts out. It was so much fun. The room was in collective prayer many times. We found out Snow Raven's got an app coming out. And I've got a QR code.
And find your parked car or something, and you're like, that's weird.
Only in Siberia.
Only in Siberia, though.
Yeah.
It only works there.
But it's pretty cool. I'm going to share it in the group where she's developing this app that teaches you.
Your car's not here.
It's not in Siberia. I didn't make it.
It works.
But she's got this app that teaches like different indigenous daily things to be in with your indigenous medicine and prayer practice. Right up our alley, buddy.
God, yes.
Right up our alley. So that's pretty cool.
I just imagine too, like our, if we were a little bit younger than we are now, say we're in the 80s, and like our 60-year-old grandpas hear this conversation we're having right now, and they're like, "You going to see ravens sing? Like, they trained ravens to sing?" And you're like, "No, that sounds like a sandwich you eat down the street." They just wouldn't get it. They wouldn't get us, man. Like, we are a renaissance culture of men right now, dude. I love hearing that
Dude,
stuff.
It was a blast.
So you guys get there. How was the hotel?
I'll tell you this.
Pretty nice hotel?
I hit such a home run on our hotel.
Yeah?
I used like the booking.com app, and I used it for our trip out west. So like we were booking like a different
free shout out to booking.com.
Yeah, sure. Our sponsors. But like I was on our trip out west a couple years ago, we were booking like a hotel every night. So I started to like build up these points and everything. I'm like, well, I wonder if they have anything, any kind of discounts or I log in. I can't find anything that's less than like 200
a night.
250 a night.
Oof.
Pretty steep.
Oof.
And I find one that was $107 a night.
That's beautiful.
It was for a 2-bedroom suite with a whole living room and full kitchen.
Was it the Hermantown Motel?
It was not. Sorry about that. Still, by the way.
No, was. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's all we had left.
It was a bed. It was great.
It was a town place and suite, so it was fine. It was nice.
Great.
Dude, it was. We really hit a home run on it.
Nice.
It was
Did
absolutely.
You? Oh, and Elise or.
Oh,
yeah.
Elise
is great. She drove.
We drove
in her.
We drove, so we had a
her. What does she have? A Challenger, a Charger?
She's got an SS Camaro.
Camaro.
Yeah. So we were turning and burning.
Really?
Not really. No, we were driving through Kansas.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we were going 5 miles under the speed limit.
This is where I really let this thing eat.
By the way, I'm still batting. I'm still batting 1,000 going out west.
Well,
I have officially brought the rain with me every time I have driven out west.
We
And
We did
if
it.
you knew,
We did need the rain.
if you
He's
knew how many
absolutely right.
the rivers needed it, and let me tell
I know.
you, and
They
let
didn't
me-
need no snow
Oh,
melt.
well, let me tell you why. We're in good shape because it
So much
snowed in
snow.
Colorado a fair bit.
I knew he was going to snow there. Ow! God. So we're right back to where we started from.
So
He brought the literal snow
did.
with the rivers back to St. Louis. You took the
By the way,
Missouri
the
River.
weather app that's on the iPhone's a piece of garbage. I consulted that thing 100 times.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm taking it too. I'm taking the
Apple,
fights
are
to the
you
street.
hearing
I'm taking the
this?
fights to
You
the
better
street.
sue us.
It said it was
right,
going to be
too.
clear for 2 weeks. It said it was going to be clear 2 days before, one
know,
day
it's
before.
never right.
We start standing on the steps, and the most ominous storm is off in the distance. What's crazy is when you're up in the mountain and you're looking out.
Clip.
Oh.
Clip it?
Well,
It's a good
yeah,
time?
we'll get that in just a
Okay.
second. So we're standing out there. We get there a couple hours early. These jackets, bud, were before I got out of the car. Like as
So
I was,
good.
I haven't even stepped all the way out of the car, and this
So
dude's
good.
like, "Dude, where'd you get that jacket?" And I mean, it might lose a little bit in the green screen, but it's a total. I was like, "This is a custom job here, bud. This is a
You're
custom
good.
job
Stand
right here."
up. Stand back up.
Yeah, this
Say
is
Santa, a perfect.
a Primfic
A prim-
Pussicle,
a
which was
prim-
like a little joke that they did on the announcement because all three of them are mashed up, and everyone's like, "Where'd you get that?" And I was like, "I made it," and they're like, "Dude, that is so cool." And this guy's like, "You sell it?" And now we had a plan.
You had like needle and thread in your hand though when you said I made it. You're like, I made this.
We had a plan that there was a good possibility that people pay $1,000 for the show posters. Like it's a whole thing where people literally travel from show to show and make a living selling the official show posters. It is absurd for anything Tool, Puss for a Perfect Circle, any of this.
God dang.
Dude.
Shirts too, like
Right now, yeah, the shirts do. I saw someone selling one for $100 a day, and
Yeah.
they probably paid $40 for it.
At those
But,
estate
like,
sales, some people have old like Pink Floyd's last
Yep.
tour T-shirt, and I'm like, I bet that would resell.
They
for
do.
for
They're in good shape.
Okay.
But like the posters thing it's absurd.
That's
It's
wild.
ridiculous. And
But
I was
that's
kind of
kinda
like,
cool, I
if I could
guess,
get
yeah.
one for $80, then I would have maybe considered it. But the rain was looking a little ominous. We kind of messed up. I didn't realize that we had reserved seats. I just thought, because they have a VIP section, so I thought that's what they meant by reserve. We would have had way better parking because the guy was like, "You reserved or general admission?" I'm like, "I don't know. We're sitting in the freaking thing. I don't know." She's like, "Well, you need to go that way." Okay,
You
fine.
always
So we end
say
up,
VIP.
Yeah.
You're like the Ghostbusters, dude. Like when
if
you-
someone asks if you're a god, you say yes.
yes, dude, thank
It's
you.
100%. That's a good rule to live by.
Yes, yes.
So we pull around to this part. Anyway, this guy, like, I get out of the car and, like, on both sides, these dudes were all like, "Dude, I love your jacket." I'm like, "Thanks, man."
It came up from either side.
Yeah,
of
and the
you.
other guy goes, "You sell it?" From the other side, and I'm like, "We had a plan. Like, maybe we're like, oh, we'll." And she goes, 500. Bidding starts
Dang,
at 500.
girl.
And he goes, 200 and an ounce of weed. And I'm like,
You're like, well, I'm in Colorado, so that's like an extra $40.
Yeah, like,
so.
but this
But
was some pretty
loud.
fire butts, dude. Anywho, I'm like,
Is that a weed
I'm like-
smoking crowd?
oh yeah,
Oh,
oh yeah.
yeah.
It's a whole. Also,
Both concerts?
yeah, yeah.
Because I wonder,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
When
okay.
when I stepped outside, it definitely reeked of weed
Okay.
in Boulder. Well, that was kind of the joke. Like, man, it smells like weed here. The guy's like, it's Boulder.
yeah, what do you think?
Everything smells like weed. Your grandma smells like weed.
Ooh.
So this guy, and so he's like 200 and an ounce, and I'm like, talk to him. I was like, you're getting there somewhere.
Yeah, you're like,
He's like 200 an ounce of weed, a lick of a Molly Rock, and some of these boomers. I'm
like, okay.
I'm like, I appreciate the barter, pal. I really do. I was like, I'll tell you what.
That's bartering.
let's-
That's living,
Let's
baby.
talk after the show because I'm sitting here thinking,
Let's talk after the show like you're going to meet him again
oh,
somewhere?
we're definitely going to meet him because there's
Where?
one road in and there's one road out. So we're going to be
Oh, okay.
sitting next to each other
Okay.
for a hot minute.
Okay.
Meanwhile, he's getting us, he's smoking with us. He's got some beers in the trunk. Cool guy.
If
Cool.
he was smart, he should have given you the lick of the Molly, and then within an hour, he'd have been like,
Hey, dude, you can have it.
take this
But I did
stupid
kind of have a
thing.
plan. I'm like, look, I'm the only person with this design. A couple people want to buy these off me for the right price. I'll make them as soon as I get home again. I could have done. At the end, the other guy on the other side, this will trip you out. This guy dresses. They're on a whole Alice in Wonderland theme. There's a Mad Hatter. There's like one Tweedledee or Tweedledum. Whatever. Yeah. And this other dude's the White Rabbit. And talking to him before the show, they're having so much fun.
Follow the White
He's
Rabbit.
like, I'm like, where are you from? He's like, oh, Minneapolis. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, yeah, my brother and his son, they're up here. We met each other here.
This guy was the White Rabbit.
They're from New Mexico. And then their other buddy, I can't remember what he was dressed up as. Everybody was pretty cool. At the end of the show, we come back. He's out of it. We're just sitting there waiting for traffic to move. We start talking forever. He's like, so where are you heading back to? I was like, St. Louis. He's like, oh, man, I was just in St. Louis. He's like, your guys' architecture is amazing. He's like, I was like, I know, man. Like, I've really been diving into it a lot, too. Thanks for noticing.
You ever heard of Forest Park?
Buddy, did I tell you this? I don't think I told you this. So he goes, yeah, I was down there. He's like, well, I was checking out the architecture. I was like in City Hall. He's like, I'm a weird Tartaria guy. Are you?
Yes.
And I go,
yes.
I'm looking at him and I'm like, there is no way.
Did Steve send you?
He goes, I was like, well, did you know about Forest Park? He's like, 1,500 buildings, bud. Yes. They built and took down 1,500 buildings. And I was like, I just did a podcast about this 3 weeks ago. And he's like, then I'm dressed like this. And he's like, you have a podcast?
Don't say.
So then our friend is like, actually, you should probably address him with a little more respect. You're talking to the leader of a very sophisticated sex cult in the Midwest. And I was like, that hasn't been ascertained. He's like, which one?
She's kidding.
He's like, oh, okay, man. He's like, well, can I follow your podcast? I'm like, yeah, but I should let you know I haven't uploaded anything
none
to
of
the
them
podcast
are on the
feed,
podcast feed.
Since 2021.
But we're going to.
Look me up. I'll put them all up on there. And he's like, dude, awesome. I'm looking forward to listening. He's like, I'm going to go back. He's like, I was like, you can find it right now on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch. You can go find out. We've got a whole slideshow for you on Tartaria and the Forest Park World's Fair. And he's like, oh, man. He's like, all right. He's like, it's awesome. He's like, that was whenever the cult thing came up. And I was like, yeah. I was like, our names are on the podcast. And he goes, oh, okay.
He's like,
and
Steve
and
Elgin.
I go, and the name is Elgin, E-L-G-I-N. I'm Steve. Nice to meet you. So they started laughing like, why is he spelling E-L-G-I-N? And so every time it came up, I was like, that's E-L-G-I-N. And they're like, yeah, we got it.
Well, it's Elgina.
Yeah, well.
So they're never going to get
never
it.
Gonna
It'll
find
be a
it.
different person.
Never gonna find
be a
it.
totally different person.
So, yeah, I was using you as a cover. But
obviously, I do the same.
Thursday night was amazing. Got in pretty late. We get up Saturday. We decide we're going to go scout the seats because Red Rocks is open through the day. There's exercise classes. There's all kinds of hiking trails around there. So we're like, let's go get a feel for where our seats are. Get set up. We go up there probably like noon. You know,
they just let you in.
Yeah, it's open. And then I don't know what time they shut it down for sound check. Maybe 3 or 4 or something. But
you can go there anytime.
Yeah, it's always open. And there's trails that go all through there. There's like yoga classes in the morning. People are running the steps, which something wrong with those people.
Yeah, they want to be healthy.
They want to be healthy. They want to be healthy. There's something wrong with those people. I got some steps in, but actually, it was awesome. Because I got up Saturday morning. I was like, oh, dude, I've been trying to stay on my workout. So I get up, I go downstairs to have the continental breakfast. Ooh. Oh my God, hang on. I cannot jump over this part. We get in the room. How was the hotel, you ask?
Yes.
All right, well, we get checked in.
I did ask
This is Thursday, okay? We get checked in. When we get there a little bit before check-in. I think we got there about 20 till 3, and check-in was at 3. So the guy's like, he goes, oh, yep, got your room. Here's the keys and everything. And I was like, all right, thanks. He's like, well, wait. He goes, let me go up there and check real quick. Make sure they got it cleaned up. He's like, because it is a little bit before time. And I was like, oh, I thought you would have waited to give me the cards, right?
Weird.
So he goes up. He's gone for like,
were they all like Mr. and Mrs. Kohler? And
no,
you guys were
no.
like, whoa,
no,
do that whole
not.
thing.
I'm Craig. I'm Craig.
This is Boy and Friendo.
And this is my friend Friendo. The Adventures of Boy and Friendo is what it was.
It's so good.
Dude's gone 10, 12 minutes, comes back. He's like, all right, you guys are good to go. I'm like, cool, man, thanks a bunch. Go out to the car, grab our bags.
He's covered in ranch dressing, and you're like, that's weird.
It might actually be weird.
Oh, no.
We grab our bags. We go up to the room. At this point, we've got a couple of hours. We've been driving for 13 hours, 12 hours. We got like a couple of hours of downtime before we're going to head to Boulder for this Parangi show. And it's like 45 minutes away. She goes to her room. I go to my room. I'm like lying there. I'm kind of surfing Facebook, whatever, checking in, looking at email. All of a sudden, I hear a knock on the door. Like I'm about ready to, take a nap.
And it's Elise going, I'm scared.
I hear a knock on the main door. Okay. I like kind of walk. I'm like, I start to kind of slowly get up to go to the door, and then I just hear the door opening.
No.
Yes. So this door opens, and I'm like, hey,
hello. Hey.
What's happening? And there's this nice Indian gentleman.
Prangi?
Not that kind of Indian. The other kind of Indian. And he comes in, and I'm like, hey, yep, we're good. What's going on? And he's like, sorry. And then he stops and he goes, are the TVs working okay? And I go, I haven't turned on the TV, but I'll check her now. He goes, no, don't check. And at this point, I'm like,
what's on that TV?
Why should I not check? He's like, we've been having some trouble with the TVs. It's hotel. It's not your room. It's not the TV. It's the whole hotel.
It's like a video of him trying to ride a bicycle he's never learned, and he's just like falling. He's like, that's embarrassing. I don't want you to see that video of me trying to learn to ride a bike.
So I'm like, okay. Like I press the button anyway. And I'm like, it like comes up to the main menu screen guide or whatever, and I'm like,
it was all like,
looks like you're way ahead of me. Looks like I was like, hey, ship shape. Looks like everything's good. He's like, okay. He's like, well, we're working on the TVs, and I'm like, not a problem. We're going to a concert here in a little bit. And he goes, I know. You don't have to tell me. I don't even have to ask you anymore. All right. He's like, I don't even have to ask you.
We don't even have to say any words to each other anymore.
He goes, a lot of people are here for concerts, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm wondering what I'm wearing.
Get out!
I'm wondering what I'm wearing.
Get out!
What is it?
Why are you wondering what you're wearing? Get this guy out of here! Freaking!
He goes. Yeah, I can tell.
You're giving him way too much time.
I'm going to a concert. He goes, yeah, I can tell. I can tell. And I'm like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? I was like,
you wearing that to the concert?
Now I'm not even dressed up for concert yet. There's nothing giving away that I'm going to a concert, other than. The face Range Rover. I got a face Range Rover.
That's it.
That's all I got.
And he's like, I know guys with things like those.
You go to concerts.
Xerxes.
You go to concerts. So he closes the door. Our friend is like,
is he looking at you?
Oh, we're looking dead at each other. And that's why he's like, yeah, I can tell. You didn't have to tell me. I wasn't even going to ask. And I was like, okay.
Listen here, bub.
So he leaves. And she's like, what just happened? Because she's still in her room. And I'm like, dude, the guy didn't want me to turn the TV on. And then it clicks for me. And I was like, that guy was running cover. This was like the wagon on Kill Bill, where he's like letting people into the room to
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's what the front desk guy was doing. He knew that's the crank room. Okay, he knew that.
I gotta make sure it's clean.
He's like, I gotta go make sure. He's like, knocking. He's like, dude, finish up. They're coming.
Yeah, dude. And then he's like, make sure to turn the channel before you turn the TV off.
It didn't even register to me why he would be so concerned about that TV being turned on, unless if I turned it on, it was gonna pick up the screen that he was watching before.
Man, it is kind of funny to see the aftermath of the crank room, because we're always in the crank rooms pre this thing happening. You know what I mean? Like, we never get to see this part of the crank room. It's cool 100%. That you got to see that part.
I got to see a guy trying to cover the crank room up.
Yeah, we never get to see that part.
Listen, you're not
We're
slipping,
long gone.
You're not slipping a crank room past me.
Never.
Okay? I'm a seasoned veteran.
You can slip a couple things past this guy. Okay, maybe a yam inside of a pocket.
Every now
you
and then.
are not going to slip a crank room by my guy.
Let's just for a minute, let's do that.
Oh, look, there's Steve, his groove's so tight. Slipping yams in the pocket light. Craig laughs along a playful fight. While Mike preps for a feast tonight.
Mike's prepping for a feast.
Pockets bulge with yams, you see. A game they play, wild and free. on fire, his eyes alight, feeling the heat of the yam-filled night. Craig Shadow looms, he's got that
I'm
flair.
talking through you to her.
Reaching for
they're
the
off.
prize in Mike's pocket they dare.
They shouldn't
They
be.
lie entwined in dreams, feeding their hunger, so it seems. Now here comes the sun, they rise as one, their skin aglow from the fun. Muscles taut with yams in hand, 3 kings of the yam-filled land.
Three
kings of the yam-filled land.
They toss and turn in a playful fight, locked in brotherhood, they're a sight. I can grin knife and ice, grin knife and life. I cover the
It's definitely
stars.
it.
Oh,
You check what they're saying on
there
Twitch.
they stand on
They're
the
going
break of
crazy on
dawn.
Twitch right now.
Yam kings ruling before the light is born. Yea, ying, doubt all through their setting light. Hair like wild, their chests still bare. Yam scents floating in the morning air.
Yam sense
Hold on, I got something on the
floating
Twitch.
in the morning air. That's the Yam Jam.
I put Tiff Jones is on there, and then Hippie Don was like, "Hello, Hoosiers, money for the Hoosiers." And then I put, "Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Steve," because I wanted to make myself seem more
Sure.
like approachable to everyone on the Twitch. feed.
absolutely.
And Hippie Don goes, "Who's Steve?"
That's my boy.
So I reply,
Hippie Don's
"Steve
my
is
guy."
the guy in the gray shirt," just in case anyone was wondering.
So, I just want to get some. We got all kinds of stars. Thank you, Skittles, for the stars. Who else we got? Some Kimberly, of course, Kimberly, the Mr. Yam Sense. Okay, all right.
She's
Look
a
at my
star
guy
boy.
living his best life in his shiny jacket and fancy wig. Thank you. Tell me you started an impromptu guerrilla auction. The opportunity was there. I got almost assaulted by a pretty young little Brazilian lady who thought my jacket was super high fashion.
Well, Bud, where's your misconnection story? Because I know that's
That was
coming.
probably it. It was
just
a
some
nice
chick there
worldly
who
lady.
was like, "Oh man, I just want to see the world and find my person. I'm moving to St. Louis, actually Hillsboro, in a little while. I wish there was someone I knew who could kind of show me around." You're like, "Yeah, that would be nuts.
That'd be
All
pretty
right,
cool.
see you
All
later.
right, see you later.
See you, gal. Hope you find that person."
And it was a web gem.
Yeah. That's what it would
Give
have
him a
been.
shout out. He's probably watching right now. He followed the podcast. I don't know if he followed on YouTube or Twitch, but
Well-
shout out to the White Rabbit guy. I can't remember his name. Also,
How weird is it the White Rabbit guy from Minnesota is talking about the buildings in St. Louis and Forest
and
Park?
we were just
the
talking
White
about how
Rabbit.
we're gonna dig deeper.
You're gonna knife
into
hand
the-
me?
We're talking about how we're gonna dig deeper into the
the
into
mole
all of
people.
it, the
We're
mole
going
people.
down in the sewers,
Let's go,
people.
bud.
Let's go. We're going to the sewers.
Oh, not now.
Not now.
Yeah.
Lollipop. Why
Dude,
do you still have this jacket?
You got to see the pictures. Yeah, why do you still have the jacket? That's a
I'll
great
tell you what,
question.
though, because
Mike, will you throw us to the chat cam? Actually, the second one.
drugs aren't a reasonable.
No.
Drugs are not a reasonable
Yeah, they
trade.
are.
Whenever
They
I have
are.
to travel across Kansas,
That's true.
they're not a reasonable trade when I have to travel.
That's
But you always
true.
have to pay me. To
Oh
mule.
God, I can't even see this stinking thing back there. You can't even see. I got a new picture.
Everybody said that's a banger. Sex cult. Let's see here. ELGIN was the spelling.
Yeah, do get that right. Do get that right, please.
I probably said it 7 times, and every time I said it, the guy in the driver's seat laughed harder because he probably couldn't figure out why. Only
Hell big. Mike, read that one off for us.
So we have, who is that? James Alexander Hillbig.
Government
Like
name?
Me. I'm deep in Tartarian reverse engineering.
okay. Let's talk about it.
I love that.
Let's talk about it.
Not tonight.
We won't talk about tonight. we got some music to cover and all the things that happen. We're not talking about tonight.
We're not talking about tonight. We will.
We will talk about it. Let me get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll
You don't have to-
get
you don't have
to
to
it.
ask me
Jesus
every 6
Christ,
months.
Netley.
Good
I know.
grief.
Every 6 months
Every 6
on
months,
my
like, on
butt.
my tail. Come on, I
Jeez,
can't hardly
guy.
breathe here.
Oh, do you want those costs?
Oh yeah, hit us with the average
Yeah, hit us
ticket
with the
cost.
average
Okay,
ticket
so I
cost.
found a few different sites. They
Okay.
all are relatively the same. Prior to 2019, the average cost was about $120, 25. Now, 2023, even though we're in 24, average was $252.
Ah,
So I'm feeling real good at a buck
you gotta
80.
feel
I'm
real
feeling
good.
real
about
good at
that.
a buck 80.
Because I mean, that could have easily been like
I would pay a
$400
buck
one.
80 for each one of those particular bands.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's like,
damn
you know,
good.
it was
Festivals
awesome.
seem to be the way to go.
And
Yeah.
I couldn't
Most
could
bang for your
not
buck.
figure out, you know, because they played Thursday night. There was a couple of different songs. There wasn't anything that they played Thursday that I wish they would have played Friday. I can think of a bunch of songs I wanted to hear, but I couldn't tell you what I would want them to swap it out with. It was a sonic masterpiece. It was so cool. And we'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk
Yeah.
about what music means to us. I'm
Yeah.
going to wrap up all the crazy
Yeah.
sidebar stuff, the lot stuff. So as we're walking to the cars on the way out, Red Rocks is like a maze. Like it's there's no real direct way to get to any of the parking. You're gonna hike no matter what. Like,
Really?
oh, dude, no matter where you park, you're gonna be walking some steps.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Yeah, great.
I get up Friday morning. I'm feeling good. Parangi blew our heads off on Thursday. You know, I'm like, I get up. I'm gonna do some of the continental breakfast, and then I'm gonna hit the little gym. They got a get fit room because I'm trying to stay.
That guy comes
disciplined.
back in the gym. He's like, "Don't turn on the TV in the gym. Don't turn on the TV in the gym."
Oh, I totally forgot. So I'm laying there and I'm like, why is that guy so worried about the TV? That's when the porno thing clicks for me. I'm like, well, c'est la vie. I go, we both retire back to our rooms. I'm lying down. It's been about 15 more seconds. The phone rings.
No, it does
I'm
not.
like, I'm sitting here expecting
like,
to pick
you're
up the phone. I was
watching
like,
it.
don't turn on the TV.
You're
And
watching
so-
it, aren't you? I know you're watching it.
But actually, I just left my card at the desk. So I
nice.
went down there to get it. But so Friday, I'm like,
That's where the porn came from.
I'm trying. Yeah, what the hell?
You got all these
Look, I did
charges.
have incidental charges. Now that I think about it, so I go. I decide. You know, I've never been good about being on. When I'm on vacation, I'm like on vacation. I'm like, I've always wished when I see people working out on vacation, I'm like, man, I need that discipline. So
You're that guy.
Friday morning, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna get me a plate of eggs, and I'm gonna go.
Protein,
I'm gonna go
baby.
work me out a little. I'm gonna run a couple miles and just get it in. So I go down. I slept a little bit later than I normally do. Had the blackout shades drawn. We had a long day. We got in, 1:30 or so. Probably bed by 2. So I woke up at like 9. Continental breakfast was over at like 10. And so I'm like, all right, I gotta hustle. So I go down there. Everybody's like crammed in this little breakfast room. And there's like 6 dudes that are like standing around, don't really know what to do. And I'm realizing there are no plates. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll just get like a handful of eggs. You know, I'm just gonna get I like a good hand egg. So I'm like looking for anything. I find like a little bowl, you know.
You're like,
scoop
these
some eggs.
yams. I got something to go with these yams.
Scoop some eggs in the bowl, looking for a utensil. There's no utensils except for butter knives. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll stab these scrambled eggs with this little butter knife. I'm gonna drink them. I'm gonna chug them out of this bowl. But luckily, our room has a full kitchen, so I know I've got silverware upstairs.
Oh, nice.
Walk upstairs. I've got a little bowl of eggs. I'm like, you're not gonna believe this, but if you're thinking about eating breakfast, bring a plate from the room. So I was going for a good handful of eggs. Everything was just kind of weird.
Hand
about
eggs
all
is
of it.
nice.
A nice hand egg is good.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not,
good.
it's not a pocket
If it
yam.
was a hard-boiled egg, though.
Yeah, no. This was runny,
That's
cheesy
not
scrambled
good.
eggs with
That's
some
not
bacon in it, like some greasy,
good.
chewy bacon in it.
I mean, still,
Oh,
you get the job done.
you could get. The thing is, you can get a lot of yield with a good
Yeah, you
handful.
can.
You get quite a bit,
And you can wring
you
some
can
of
get
that
your
water
daily
out of there. You
protein.
can wring some
You can
of
get your
that
daily
water.
protein with a good scoop. And there's nowhere to
I
sit
usually
down there.
just put
so
it
what I
in.
did was I stood at the front of the room and I just looked at
Showed
the room
everybody.
and I just looked at him as I was cramming a handful of eggs in my face, and just running down my chest.
Well, there's a video of you cranking it on the
Indian guy
lobby
cranking it
on
in
the
my room.
lobby television.
It's the crank room. I thought it was safe. I thought it was in a safe space.
Obviously, has cameras in there.
It was.
It's P Diddy's crank room.
lot-
Wow!
wow, wee.
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa.
wee.
Yeah, I know.
That was a truth bomb there, bud. So as we're walking out, we kind of choose what looks to be
Violence.
the prettiest path It's kind of a nice low lit path that goes down the canyon. Then we'll walk up to the car from there, and we're walking down. And we were like, oh man, the only thing we didn't get a picture of is like the two of us with the back of our jackets. Yeah. So this guy, and I'm like, hey, he and his girlfriend are like, dude, we love your jackets. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. He's like, hey, will you take a picture of them? Like, nobody got a shot of it. The guy's like, yeah. He goes, I love taking pictures of people. And I'm like, all right. And so I don't like that. Strange. So Elise and I
he's like, are you guys going to be looking?
So we're like looking out into the distance.
He's like, 'cause I like to take pictures of people when they're not looking.
Yeah, and then he's like, all I need you to do is snap a picture of the back of our jacket, bud. I don't need anything special, Ansel.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And so all of a sudden he's like, I know he's just going down. He's holding that phone way too long. I'm like, have you taken it yet? I'm like peeking over. He's not really getting to go. And now he's holding up the line of people that are trying to walk up this path, trying to take a picture of the two of our backs. And he's like, all right, now look over your shoulder at me. And I'm like, okay. And now this guy is getting visibly irritated. He's like, what's going on? And the guy's like, well, at first he's like, I love your jacket. Well, then she takes off the raincoat she had over the top of it. And they're like, oh, she's got one too. And so he's trying to take this picture. These people are walking by, and he's like, check it out. And they're like, what? And he's like, they've got two backs. He's got two backs. Backs, two of them. He's got it. And the guy's like, okay. And he like pushes his way. He's got to be tripping his face off. He's got to be tripping his whole face off.
I love taking pictures, man. Anyone who says that, I was obviously frying.
So that was pretty funny. I was like, he's like, oh, I'm from Texas. I'm like, dude, I'll tell you what, that was so good. I'm thinking about snagging a ticket for Kansas City on Tuesday. I'm thinking about it. And he goes, oh, man. He's like, I really like shirts. And I go, all right. And he goes, just grab me a shirt, okay? I was like, at Kansas,
Pardon?
Do you live in St. Louis?
Pardon?
Like Kansas, where do you live? And he's like, Texas. And I'm like,
cool.
All right. What are we doing?
Why am I picking you up a shirt, man?
What's going on? He's like, I really like shirts. And I was like,
yeah, shirts are cool, man.
Cool,
shirts are
bro.
cool.
What do you want me to say to you? Come on. So that was like, there was a fair bit of weird.
Meanwhile, he's wearing two pairs of pants on his. He's got pants on his arms.
He's like, I ran out of shirts.
I
could
like
really use
shirts.
it if you got me a shirt. I could really use another shirt if you got me one.
These pair of slacks are terrible for my upper half.
I'm certain that there was so much more, but that was kind of the
you sure?
Here's one. We get to the show a couple hours early. We're waiting to get in. Mike, actually, if you don't mind, I actually might have it here. Yeah, I got it.
Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah, so it starts. So we think the rain's gonna.
Mike's been on it.
We think the rain's gonna miss us, right? We're feeling kind of lucky. Everyone's like, oh, it might go around. Then the two side screens of the stage are like severe weather warning. The National Weather Service says there are major storms coming. Head back to your cars. We'll let you know when the show's going to start. Okay, this is like at 6:30.
Kind of like Sandler. You bring the rain.
Show's supposed to start at 7, and it's like 6:30, and this is popping up. It has now started like a pretty steady drizzle / rain. We're ponchoed up, Mike. I'm feeling real good at this point.
Yeah. What do you?
This is fucking great. We got a little storm rolling in out here. And I feel like Lieutenant Dan.
That looks like a guy who stayed in a crank room for a night.
I very much felt like Lieutenant Dan. That wasn't a joke.
Legs.
I was pretty shocked. Like, that's all you got.
What is he? What is he, Australian or something?
That's all you got, mate.
That's all you got. I didn't become a citizen of this country.
So to give you an idea, our seats, I lucked out so hard, dude, that when I first went to buy tickets, they were all sold out immediately, and I'm like, guess what wasn't meant to be, man. Yeah. And someone on like one of the tool pages, I'm in there like, keep trying. They release them like I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, keep clicking. Comes out, gives me a chance to buy a couple. I buy a couple. They are exactly dead center of Red Rocks. Row 31, seat 77 and 78. So much so that where she was standing, Maynard was if you put a laser down the middle, it would cut her in half and cut him in half.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Perfect. And Also, just a shout out to her. This is something small, but it's something I love about all of our friends and this little community that we have. And this, she just kept insisting. She's like, "You have to stand right here." She's like, "You have to stand here," because she was so convinced that she had the perfect view and seat, and she just wanted to share that with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, enjoy that.
Our friends love
Enjoy that. And I love that. I love that
that
too.
is
I want,
cool.
I'm like, enjoy it. Also, I'm one person next to you.
Yeah,
I
I'm good.
also,
But there's
you
like
could
a
draw a
pillar.
laser line to me
There's a
too.
pillar in front of your seat.
There is a dude in front of me who's really having fun the whole time, spilling his drink on the lady next to him. He's getting after it. Got a little distracting at the end. My brain was in a special place.
Yeah.
But
Usually is.
You'll have to understand that there are I think there's 150 or 160 seats on every row. And there is no middle aisle.
What's the max it hold?
I'm not certain on
Has
that.
to be a couple thousand.
Oh, a few thousand. Yeah, for sure. But on each row, there's 160, and there might be, call it 10 grand.
What are the seats? Seats
There,
or
it's
bleachers?
dude. It is the coolest setup ever. They're all big stone. It's carved out of the mountain. They're all big stone concrete stairs, and then they have little wooden benches on the front of them. So you have an aisle. You have this much space in front of you. You're not bumping into the people in front of you and bumping into the people.
Yeah, that's why I saw
You have
those
a
people
nice
doing the
platform,
row thing.
dude.
Yeah.
It is the cool. You have a bubble that's not going to be messed with.
Oh my God!
But you are crammed in this way.
What a place to melt face.
This was the
rather than being like this in someone's wig hair.
Totally. Exactly right. That's also, I let everybody vote on it. And I knew they were going to vote for the long mullet wig, but all I could think about was how that was just going to be in
That
my
looks.
mouth
Oh God!
all
yeah.
night. You
Yeah.
know what
or
I
in
mean?
your eye, it'll catch you right here.
Exactly. I'm
Nope.
I appreciate
Nope.
it. This isn't a cheerocracy. This is a cheertatorship.
Okay. Bring it on.
All right. It's been brought in.
Okay.
All right. So we're sitting. We're there early. There's people spread about every 100 yards in between us. And there's still a solid hour before the show. And the people who are sitting next to me on a bench, it's set up like bleachers at a baseball game. They come up and they sit. This dude, this Viking gentleman, 6'8", 300 pounds.
No.
Sits on me and his gal next to him. And there is nobody else for a mile.
Was it their seats?
It was, but the show's not starting for. Give me 3
maybe a
feet.
yard or two.
And she gets up. Our homie gets up and looks at him like they have an arm growing out of their head.
4 inches.
What's that?
Does that move over 4 inches?
Yeah.
4 inches to the
Yeah.
left.
Yes. Exactly. She stands up and just looks at this dude she goes, "I'm gonna move down about a foot until it's time for us to squeeze in here." It was so
strange.
People are weird.
Yeah,
dude.
You get that when you get in big crowds.
People
don't know how to act.
They don't know how to act.
I mean, you
It
got
was
one guy
so
holding up
bizarre.
the line thinking you had two backs.
And
You got another person.
He's got 2 backs.
Well, on the picture, you turn around, it's like your head over hers, so it
Yes.
kind of looks like he had two backs there. That would be kind of cool. You guys were doing one of those, your necks were doing
My Zach Bryan ticket was $450. Ho! Handful of eggs, fistful of egg. Got to feed the beast. Zowie. Oh, so I got my workout in. I'm thinking, look at you go, bud. Look at you
little
go.
stallion.
You're staying. This is discipline.
Yeah,
Good for you,
man.
man. This is how you get better. Not thinking that I was going to walk
Oh, yeah, you did a lot.
8 miles that
That's
day.
good.
It was great. I
Great.
woke up Saturday expecting to just be hurting because of the amount of steps up and down. Because you have to walk an insane amount of steps to get to the amphitheater, and then once you're in the amphitheater, you're walking up a mad amount of steps. And then if you have to go to the bathroom, you have to walk to the bottom of the amphitheater again and then walk back up. And when you're in a special
a hole in the earth.
when
that they
you're in a
just have
special
to sit in.
place, that's all I could think is I sat around and didn't go to the bathroom before the show started. And A Perfect Circle started us off, I think. And they played a couple of songs. I'm like, awesome. Primus comes out. Unbelievable. But I'm like, be realistic. You know they're going to play 30 songs. You're not going to make it 3 more hours. You got to go.
Yeah.
I'm in a
Were you guys
special spot.
drinking?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I did grab a beer when we
Yeah.
first got in, just because I wanted as big a drink as I could.
Is it
get
much of
to
a
go back
drinking
to my
crowd?
seat. Oh, there was a fair amount
Yeah.
of drinking. Yeah, and what was kind of cool was there was no line for the drinks whatsoever.
Oh,
like I
nice.
was over there, and like it was actually on our row. Everything kind of worked out great. But walking across 75 in front of 75 people, even though the space is like this big
gotcha.
in between, when you're in a special headspace,
Gotcha.
I thought for sure I looked like Jack Sparrow walking across this. I mean, I was just all over.
Excuse
the
me.
place.
Pardon me. Excuse me.
But
Pardon,
somehow
pardon,
I feel like I time traveled. I went down there. I pissed for an eternity. I'm like, this is never gonna end. I'm gonna miss this whole show. I'm like Jimmy Dugan down there. And
It's gotta be some kind of
back,
record.
I got back right as the next song was starting from Primus. So I only missed like. I mean, nice thing is they play like 7-minute songs.
Yeah, true.
You know,
Yeah,
so,
you're fine.
So I was in
You
a
are
good
fine.
spot.
If you're in one place where you're fine, that's it.
I was having, you know, when you're in that particular space, like you're just kind of firing, and some of the funniest ideas and things were coming to me, because if you've ever seen a Perfect Circle, and in particular Billy Howardell, the guitarist, if that dude's not a vampire, then vampires don't exist. But
There you go.
So I kept looking at her friend and I go, hey, you want to go to a vampire party? And she's like, and so a Perfect Circle, they're a bunch of vampires, okay? Pussifer, they're aliens. So we have the vampires versus aliens party. Okay?
But they're all getting along.
Oh, they get along great. It's
They get along great.
and it's I mean, it's two totally similar vibes, but you know, one's a little more dancey, the other one's, you know, a little more melancholy. And then you have Les Claypool, who is a DMT jester. I'm certain. I've never been so certain of anything in my life. He comes out wearing like a Cyrano mask, like with his big long nose, and he's got his little derby bowler hat on, you know,
God.
and he's got his bass, and he's making shit just weird enough in between the two. Like, it is a nice volley. And then I have this thing, and this will kind of segue us. Oh, yeah, because we're up against. We'll take a little break. He started doing this thing with the notes. And I don't know that I don't often sit down and listen. There's like 3 or 4 Primus songs I really like. One I like put on and listen to on the radio. Primus is a band that live is a religious experience, but like it doesn't really come through with speakers. You got to be there for what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I want to talk in the next hour about like why this. Yes. Yes. And I'll tell you what, Les Claypool made me believe in life after love.
And we'll be right.
So guys, after this break, we're going to talk about music, the magic of music, and the
this
fabric
whole
that it
experience.
creates.
And I got some thoughts on, I'm not the biggest Tool Pussifer guy, and I think there's some psychology behind all that, and the psychology of music, and understanding our own likes and dislikes.
I'm into it. Here's a break.
Here it is.
The lysergic acid diethylamide, LSD.
It was like 1961 when I first heard of LSD through my friend Ken Kesey. He was part of an experiment that would get paid to take these various drugs that the government was trying out. Some were placebos, but there was one that was really good.
Some people think it's when Kesey discovers LSD that the counterculture in California is born.
Timothy Leary was telling students across the country to turn on, tune in, and drop out.
Dr. Leary, what are you up to here?
We teach the science and art of ecstasy.
He became convinced that LSD had the potential to be a tool for humanity.
Timothy Leary was the most dangerous man in America because the politicians do not want a country full of people that think for themselves.
There's nothing grown up or sophisticated in taking an LSD trip at all. They're just being complete fools.
When you think about widespread use of LSD in the 60s or MDMA in the 90s, how did that happen? Chemists had to make it. That's how it happened.
Owsley had the reputation, they used to call it Owsley's acid, and out of Southern California, it was the best acid you could buy.
He got busted in 67, and I got busted with him. They came in on us at our lab with guns drawn, 12 of them. You know, it was insane.
Police officers came with these black masks on. I just remember laying on the ground, and the guy's got a gun to my head, and I was actually tripping. You know, I was on LSD.
The government was saying this was the largest LSD lab in history, and we're sitting in a cell, and the future being extremely bleak.
These are found stories of lives being happily lived and then torn apart that nobody knew about.
If it takes another 50 years of fighting these knuckleheads over the right to consciousness, I'll bring it on.
Charleston girl in a darkened room, and you don't know her like I do. Took the fire escape to her room and got stone raging blind. I left my money in the trusting hands of them old steel brothers in a thrash grass band. One day I'm gonna drive up there and give them half my mind. I don't know if it's the wine or the coke that makes her sound like her jaw's broke. She's working hard to make some sense, but she ain't got a dime. I wish to God that I could help her out. I wish I knew what she was talking about. I wish to God that I could get away, but I'm way too drunk to drive. All I know is that when I am good and sober, I am leaving West Virginia for a while. I don't know why, but every time I cross that river, Lord, there's something tears me up, makes me wild. Charleston girl with the raven hair and bloodshot eyes and skin so fair. I believe if I could find my keys, I'd try to drive away. I never planned to leave so soon. I didn't know he was sweet on you. Go ahead and take her, 'cause she ain't worth the time. And all I know is that when I am good and sober, I am leaving West Virginia for a while. I don't know why, but every time I cross that river, Lord, there's something tears me up, makes me wild.
I bet the teenage girls tuning in and love that, you freaking perv. Not funny. That person's
That was
dead.
not funny. They're not dead, actually.
They
Funny
lived.
story. They not only did they live, they fled the scene.
They could not get out of that. What kind of car is that? Can we watch that one more time, please? Yeah.
Back up for you.
All right, just checking my text messages here. Oh, I got one from an old friend.
Actually,
this is my favorite day.
I mean, so apparently, a little bit of backstory on that. That happened just down at Gus's
Hey,
Pretzels.
Cynthia.
Across the street. Any of the Hoosier fans, friends that came out to the Halloween party at Cafe Piazza, that was right across the street from where that happened. It is the craziest intersection in St. Louis.
It is
dude.
wild.
When we had Mycelium Media had
Yeah.
some studios up there above there, Seth and I witnessed
We
a
watched,
death. They have had
a death.
They have had four pedestrians in the last 2 years, I think, get killed at that intersection. People come flying off of 55, dude.
You can't walk without your head on a swivel.
In the city?
It used to be bullets that you had to duck and dodge and weave, even though it never really happened to me. But you always heard stories where you're like, I got to dodge bullets like it's American Gladiators.
the assault. But now you for reals got to watch out for the cars blowing through. Like, I always felt safe with the crosswalks. I always felt crosswalks were a safe spot.
For the most part.
I always thought they were a good, safe spot. They could be perfect. But now I'm like, you got to look long ways, too. Because a car coming 70 down 7th, that's quick, boy.
Hey, let's play a
It'll
little.
be
Let's
on
play
you.
a little game
Let's
with
play a
it. It's a
game.
little crass, but Mike, go ahead and hit me with that again.
Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you better choose which one you want to. Oh fuck.
Well,
not gonna happen.
Hey guys, oh my god, I dropped my vape.
Give that to me one more time. Because I'm loving it. You gotta click on another one and come back to it. There you go. There you go. Click on Lieutenant Dan again, then go back to it.
This is fucking great. We got a little storm rolling.
All right, here we go.
Hey, just cruising down, gonna hop on the highway here. Just thinking about stuff.
Oh, looks like Gus's Pretzels has her all tied up in knots.
All right, guys, we want your best one-liners.
Give us your best one-liners
Give us
for
your best
Gus's
one-liners.
Pretzels Crash Lady.
Let's see them on the old text line here, and we're going to read them out loud. And if they're funny, we'll be like, ha, 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 ha. And if they're not, Craig, what's going to happen to them if they say something that's not in their best interest? That's going to make you feel bad.
You're going to feel bad.
So be funny right now. Let's play that one more time. Let's see if I can think of something on the go here. I like pretending, before we hit that, I like pretending like I'm the voice of the person in the car and I'm off
like that.
screen.
Yeah,
and
I like
then
that.
you hit it, so you got different things that are going on. All right, so hit me with that one more time. Be like, I'm just a poor guy, but I brought this scratch off, and oh my God, look at me. I won $100. This is the best day of my life. Ah! It was not the best day of that guy's life.
It was not.
That's the joke.
Apparently, that car was fleeing the scene of an accident on Broadway. Turns up Arsenal, ripping at 100 miles an hour, crashes into Gus's. Flees
Poor
the
Gus.
scene of
Flees.
Gus's. They fled from
How,
that.
dude?
I don't know.
That's not possible, dude.
When Gus's turns on their fresh pretzel sign. You know what? I'll give it a little bit.
Oh, nice. That was good. When 3 holes just ain't enough.
I'd say it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
That's good. That's good.
Give him a good sound.
Another good sound?
Yeah. Yeah, it's showtime. All right, hit it one more time real quick. Hold on, I had something in my head. Let me remember it right now. Oh, I got it. Okay.
You ready?
All right. Yep. Oh my God, I gotta get in my car. I gotta quickly drive to that hotel so I can tell that guy not to turn on the TV. I gotta go. Oh God, I'm losing it. Ah! I must flee the scene to get to that guy so he does not turn on that hotel TV. That was a callback.
It was.
And it was also a joke.
That was where I was heading next.
Was it?
We were
okay.
here, but-
All right. Mikey, what's your best one? What do you got? You got a microphone. All right. Play it again for yourself, and then you can either do after it's done.
Well, if you're not feeling it now, whenever
No,
you got
do
one,
it
cut us
now.
off.
I don't.
Cut us
I'm
off.
putting him on the spot,
come
and
on,
you can feel that. Mike, play it, and let's see. Let's see what you got. I know it'll be good.
Oh, here it. Oh, almost there. Almost.
Well, he had a lot of cuss words.
Well, a lot of
He had a lot of cuss words.
You know what that sounded
And
like?
it sounded
I'll
like-
tell you what that sounded like, Mike, with all your cuss words. Little clown fiesta.
It's a
was
clown
that.
fiasco. Is that what he said? A clown fiesta? Okay, that's cool. What
All
about a toilet flushing? Play that, because that's what Mike's potty mouth. That's Mike's potty mouth. How about, were you ejaculating?
All right.
Mike, were you
It's time we get serious.
ejaculating or were you pooping?
That was so close to being really funny.
Okay.
This is the last time they forget cheese with my pretzels.
Who's that? That was
Shirley.
great. Shirley, that was a really good one. Okay. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Scott, if you're not going to contribute with anything good on your own, you can't just
Ever
come
a
in here
critic.
and judge.
Ever a critic.
He just comes in here, Simon Cowell of the chat line. We don't need you, Simon, okay?
All right, back to the music.
I just wish they could have aimed about 30 feet east and totaled my blazer sitting in
No doubt. No, but that's a true story.
I know, but don't laugh
That's a
at
funny
that.
one.
I thought it was funny too, but I held it back because of his last comment.
Hey, listen,
Okay,
your stuff's not my stuff, okay?
I know, obviously, because
I see it coming in. I'm like Space Invaders. Shoot it down.
shoot it down, man. Okay,
All right.
I'd like to talk about
enough of the soundboard.
I'd like to talk about music at its base and to now. So I'd like to start maybe like in prehistoric times, if you will, and then we'll slowly make our way to present day. Sound
Okay.
good?
Yeah. And I want to hit him with a mind meld after that.
Well, of course.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to get our brains.
course.
That's why this show's been.
Yeah, 'cause
lacking.
you've
It's been me
been-
talking the whole time.
You-
We haven't hooked up our mind meld yet.
I know, and you rewatched our mind meld.
I'm
Any
sorry.
thoughts?
I'm sorry. I said it.
Okay.
I did acknowledge it on the show each time.
did.
I'm like, oh, you were
I
right.
know. Why
I'm
I
an
say
idiot.
that?
That's
Why
a
I say
dumb
that?
answer. Fork.
Fork.
What the hell are you saying, silverware? What are you saying, bud?
I don't know.
What are you saying?
Okay.
You shit your pants on the Mushroom Network thing, but that's okay. The Computer Mushrooms Network.
I did.
Yeah, you said
Probably.
but it was close though. You said something dumb.
No, internet and inner something. We had one that was like close. Yeah, we.
close.
Okay.
It's okay. We're gonna
It's
do it
fine.
later.
It's fine. Music. From its prehistoric times, you figure there's got to be like drum beats. You know, don't you think that was probably the first thing? Maybe some.
It's what Yusufa Sidibe said. He goes, it all started with every time you hear the drum, the rhythm, the beat, that is your ancestors. That's the song that they started for you to continue playing.
Shut your freaking mouth.
That's
dude.
where it all starts. It's all in the
Me
rhythm.
and this dude have to party together.
Yeah, for
man.
sure. Heavy Senegal.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
love
you
Senegalese
love Senegalese people.
Always said it.
You're a big fan of
Was
Senegalese
it Senegalese Warriors? Yeah.
Sudanese Warriors?
No, probably. Anyway, the drum beat. That's where you got to think it all started. I also sometimes will throw in that the winds blowing through certain parts of the tree or through certain leaves maybe gave a hoo sound, which spawned some primitive idea to say, oh, I bet if you make a reed and kind of blow, so then you kind of got some boom, 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 and then you got some yes. And you're like, oh, that ignites something inside of the human, even when you hear it now. Even if you're like, ooh, I don't like that. I like pop music, which is kind of my visceral reaction to most things that are different. Obviously, I've come a long way, but I don't get Tool. I don't get Puss for. I've listened to songs. I'm like, I respect it for what it is. It was kind of a joke where I was like, I hate it. It's dumb.
Sure.
It is the opposite of dumb. Like, it is very... you just have to respect what
If
they're
you're a
doing
musician,
with the music.
If you're
yes.
a musician and you understand how hard playing music is,
Yes.
and then you see these guys are going out of their
Making
way
it as
to
hard
make it
as
as
they
hard
can.
as they possibly can.
The timing.
That's especially true with all of Maynard's projects because all of his drummers are aliens. Danny Carey is, for my money, the greatest drummer of all time, and I mean he's in good company. He's in the conversation, and his time signatures are insane. But they're not like. They're not so like sometimes jazz time signatures and things, which I feel like that's what these guys are doing. Like all the great musicians are trying to play like weird jazz, but with them they do it with a lot of distortion and crunch and like crazy esoteric lyrics and things like that. But all of the drummers in all of his projects are doing some crazy stuff with time that it's almost. You actually, you're like, I don't want to step, and we'll get back to it, but what you're saying is the thought that I have with Les Claypool, in that the reason why it's so amazing is it feels like they're playing all the notes they shouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
We're used to hearing EAGB, whatever, ADE, or, ADG, something real simple. They're
GCB,
playing, whatever.
B,
3-chord,
A,
4-chord deals. They're
D,
playing A diminished, 7th sharp.
Yes, F sharp minor.
But they're doing these things in a time that's really strange. It's just really strange.
What's the song that is 25 and 4 or whatever?
46 and 2.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's the time signature, or that's like an ode to some sort of
No,
numerical...
you're thinking lateralis. Lateralis follows the Fibonacci sequence. So it goes one syllable, 3 syllables, 5 syllables, 7 syllables.
Okay.
And it goes all the way up to like 19 and then back down.
That's not the song that's like dun 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 dun.
No, that's Schism. Yeah.
I saw
I know
someone.
the pieces fit because I watched them fall away. DMT in a nutshell.
That is awesome. It's like that I can get on.
Totally. Yeah.
But I'm also like,
if you
make it
dive
sound
into-
like
if you dive
friggin'
into the lyrics,
Enrique
it freaks you.
Iglesias, would you? Yeah.
I can be a hero, man.
Yeah, if you could do Escape but have those lyrics, that's nice.
Go a little Ricky.
Escape's about DMT too. You can run, you can hide, but you can't escape my love. It's DMT trip in a nutshell.
I suppose you could paint that over.
Yeah, sure, why not? But I saw a drummer break that timing signature down because that's also a different Schism is on a different timing signature. It's like
there's not very many 4/4 signatures.
Yes,
Yeah.
and seeing a
Some
professional,
of it's waltzy, some of it's
it's wild. And seeing a professional drummer struggle to kind of get the part of his brain, because you've been in the studio before
He's
where
got
we have a
4
drum kit.
appendages doing 4 different things.
Yes,
which
and
is
it's
crazy.
And it's like you're also the one keeping time for everything else going on. So it's like even just doing bap and da, that's even kind of like, okay, I found
But
a
it's hard to
pocket.
do
But
for
then you're
3
like,
minutes.
It's so hard to do for 3 minutes, dude.
and not
you
and
like
not
found
like
the
skip
pocket.
time.
Oh, God, I messed that
as
one
soon
up
as you
a
think
little bit.
about it, yeah.
And now you see those guys, and you're like, oh my good Lord, dude. But I wonder sometimes if it is a lack of maturity in music or a lack of being exposed to certain things. Because coming from the dawn of time, everything is this bass drum beat. Sure. Then maybe we had some woodwinds. Okay. Now you're getting into this tribal music. Now you're figuring out all these other things to where we've kind of figured out that music almost probably, most certainly has been a CIA psyop for most of popular music. You know,
popular music.
Most
yeah.
pop music.
I think they realized how they messed up in the past by trying to get everybody together around their pop acts, but all the pop acts that they were supporting were all talking about love and like singing about anti-government, and you just do not see that.
Yeah,
anymore.
John Lennon gets killed.
You
because
just do not see that anymore. They are not going to back those projects.
That's why I posed the question one time to I think Jen in the kitchen. I was like, wouldn't it be crazy if Taylor Swift, at the pinnacle of her prowess right now, if she went on a full John Lennon, Palestine, Israel, let's get together. I know you don't think little girls on both sides of everything is going on. They sit down and go, Taylor Swift ain't bad. Even the older guys in all of the conflicts, guys shooting at each other, they could go back and be like, yeah, this is kind of a banger.
Sure.
And they're both like, I don't even think. Kill him!
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, guys. Like, we all have. I always thought that even as a little kid. Like, I imagine.
You should fear the person that is killing other people with Taylor Swift as a soundtrack.
1,000,000%.
That's the person to fear.
You get the people
That's a
who
general
are like,
in a dog
let the
mask.
bodies hit the floor. Let the body. Like someone who's listening to early Taylor Swift.
Yeah, 1984 album. Yeah,
That's a problem.
That is a big problem.
That person's going to be an actual
That
problem.
person's a problem. You got to watch out for that person.
Okay. So music is so powerful because I could hear it in your voice this weekend. Like you're not, I don't want to say brighter or more thing, but hearing the excitement in your voice talking about someone, because we'll like talk the mornings before the show and be like, okay, I don't want to tell you everything about it. I will tell you this part though. I'll tell you this part. I'm not going to tell you everything though. I'll get that part. And I'm like, God, I love that music has this calling. It called to you from a foreign land. All of these people. All of these people,
all these weirdos
from
came
the
to stand in the
roots,
rain.
from the actual tribal root sounds to the now. When I said that at the beginning, I was half joking, but you literally got to see it in a weekend. You got to see someone making
bird noises and jaw harp noises and using their body as an instrument to people that have learned how to marry that with tech and turn out the weirdest, craziest sounds. Both of those things, otherworldly and magical and spiritual, but like just different avenues. Because that, especially with the Vampires vs. Aliens party, there's a lot of weird. When Claypool came out, there was this one moment, like there was one set they came out and they did. Jerry was a race car driver, so one of their big ones, and then they went directly into My Name Is Mud, and then at the end of it, My Name Is Mud. At the end of the song, Claypool is standing there, okay, and he is perfectly still, and it's just his fingers, and he's not moving otherwise. He's perfectly still. And he does this for about a minute and a half. The only thing moving is his fingers. He looks like a robot, to the point where our friend is getting freaked out. She's like, I'm gonna need him to move. I'm gonna need him, and then like finally, and then like at the end. And he plays like this crazy chord that just like rips through the crowd, and then he finally moves, and we're like, oh, the place goes insane. There was this weird thing where, like, I don't know if like Les Claypool in the 80s.
That is so fucking cool, dude.
After Cliff
I'll
Burton
cuss.
died with Metallica when the tour bus crashed and it killed their bass player, Les Claypool tried out for Metallica. And they all told him, "Get out of here!
Leave.
You're way too good for us. Go do your own thing."
How dare you?
And so when you see
dare
him,
you come in here and do that?
What he was doing was he was hitting notes that it doesn't feel like you're supposed to like, but he was putting enough of them together that I couldn't help but bop along. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like this is like he had me on a string.
Well, dude, okay, so like this, for instance. The sound here and the sound here.
Yeah.
2 notes on the scale. One is
right.
A sharp.
Sure.
The way they do it with their bending and the way he hits, it's making a ton of notes
and all harmonics
in between all of these empty spaces in there. That's what blows me away about those.
I think it was Tom Waits said something. He's like, I love to hear terrible things with a beautiful melody, and this is like the opposite.
Yeah,
it's like beautiful things with a dissonant melody, and it's equally moving and crazy. And the set list was insane, and they played they played most of my favorite songs from each of the projects, but each band had a moment where they got to make the audience come.
Yeah.
Like, it was edging,
Yeah.
and each band had their, okay, you can release now moment. And it was unbelievable. It was sticky as
the guy
could be.
from
The
the
guy from the
hotel.
hotel's like, I told you not to turn on the TV!
He's got a camcorder.
This is going to be great in room 318 later.
That is phenomenal.
There were 3 separate parts that were, there were 3 separate songs, one from each unit. They were all great, but each one of them had like that song. And
that's so cool.
And one of them was like a remix that A Perfect Circle does of a song they had called Pet, but the
they do a remix
they didn't
of
do
that.
But the hook is counting bodies like sheep to the rhythm of the war drums. And they did this remix of it. It's like counting bodies like sheep, and the screen started to do like this hypnozing spiral.
Oh, jeez.
With every beat of the drum.
You got hypnotized?
And it's like it's like Pink Floyd, The Wall. Everybody's just
Don't you
going
worry
crazy.
about that, though?
Yes, and I
Yeah,
love it. At this point, I was pretty sure I was getting jumped into the vampire cult, and I was into it.
You had already figured out all the
look,
precursors.
guys, I can't put it out here anymore for you.
I'm like, you're holding it so it's like filling
Look,
with
here you
blood.
go. Prime space. Yeah, I'm like tying a tourniquet off. I'm like halfway.
You got your belt.
No, okay, so that's the power of it. And when you were talking, it made me think of that there's all different ways to get there. There's so many different paths to get to the places. You were saying with the tribal people to the new age technology, they're all trying to get us to the same place. That part where we all do the deed you were talking about. They're all trying to get you there in one way or another. It could be this, could be this, could be this. It's crazy that each portion will hit people differently.
Yes.
And that's what I'm also fascinated by. I love taking someone to a concert and then them being like, I don't really know them. I don't really know much about them. Not really into that type. And then afterwards, they're like, hey, when they come into town next?
Yep.
And like, oh my God, that is such a powerful thing. Tying that in to each person, I guess, it's almost like a fingerprint. Each person's musical taste. Maybe it isn't a thing about maturity, what I'm saying. Maybe for some people, that Taylor Swift song does get them there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
I've
that
definitely
stinky
gotten to
little
that
pop
point.
song, you're like, oh, the Yam song? That does kind of make me
I've definitely gotten to the
transcendental
point where it's like,
meditate.
well, I don't care if somebody loves something. I hope somebody has it.
Yes.
It freaks me out more when somebody's like, I don't really listen to music. And I'm
That's
like,
a joke in World's Greatest Dad, a movie but with Robin Williams. If you haven't
I
seen
need
it,
to revisit that.
oh my God, one of the darkest comedies by Bobcat Goldthwait. But that is one of the
Did he
deals.
write it?
He wrote it.
Really?
Yeah, wrote it and
Oh, I
directed
didn't
it.
know that.
And the joke is everyone hates this kid, and the kid they keep asking the kid if he likes music, and he's like, "Music's for F words." Is what he keeps telling everybody. So that's the kind of kid you're dealing with in this movie. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. But music being so powerful, you're talking about the hypnosis thing and stuff. And I've been looking into the rituals that happen during concerts. There are legitimate rituals. There was one with a pop star now.
Travis
where
Scott?
it's a girl pop star that I had never heard of before. And she does a legit, like, seance, says words, like
I've been to
summons.
concerts where I thought I was just by being there, I was witness to or a part of some kind of satanic ritual for sure. That's weird.
There is an energy transfer.
Yeah.
Because even when you get near those people, like, didn't it feel probably a little bit different standing next to Snow? No, not Snow. Not Yellow Wolf. What the Snow Raven? Didn't it kind of?
It's the exact opposite side of the spectrum.
So didn't it kind of feel weird just kind of being that close to the stage?
Totally.
And you get like you get close to the stage.
Oh, she's an alien. Like, that's the other thing is she moves.
Is it because of all the energy she has
Probably.
been given?
They are actively especially for that concert in particular. Those are medicine people used to leading medicine space. And so I think that there was a prayer that was going on. Like, they were singing prayers. They are trying to heal the world in the old world ways. And absolutely, I think they know how to move energy.
Okay.
And I think that extends to rock stars. If you do that for 30, I watched Maynard James Keenan turned 60 years old. These guys have been playing music professionally for 40 years, traveling 200 nights a year, playing with different projects. And watching them, and this was especially interesting because it was like a birthday party, and it was all three of them. So like they were like partying, they're playing ping pong during songs, you playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots. It's like part of the show, but they're just having fun, but you're looking at 40 years of sonic wizardry.
They still get after it too. Just as good.
Dude, I bet probably the best. Like, I've seen Les Claypool several times
in like
concerts.
great shape and stuff.
Oh yeah, he's black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, he keeps it going.
Which is
like,
the worst fighting style. Can I just say that?
I think you do every chance you get.
It's the worst fighting style there is.
I thought that would be right up your alley. I mean, you get a chance.
It was. I went and
get
it
greased
was.
up with another dude.
The first thing they do is they're like, hey, get on your back and do one of the.
Yeah, rubber guard, dude. Get you in rubber guard.
And I'm like, they're punking me on my first class. This is a punk
man,
thing.
you guys got to mash nuts for a little while.
Mashing. Which I'm not against that. I'm just like, this is fighting. This is what we're going to do to fight each other. I'm about to punch you, dog.
I mean, okay.
And then I threw some bows. I'm street fighting in there, dude. I'm like South City Steve up in the BJJ room, okay? South City Steve, he ain't going to mess with you.
Let's mind meld.
Let's mind meld. Let's do it. All right, Mike, count us down.
All right, here we go. 3, 2,
1. Oh, hang on.
Okay,
all right, you're starting us off. I'm sorry.
Right,
Okay, rewind the button.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hamburger.
Toad.
Okay, Toad and you say hamburger?
I did.
Okay, so we're gonna find the difference between toad.
No, we're gonna
find
we're gonna try to come to the middle, something similar. Hamburger
and toad.
Between, yep, those two. 3, 2, 1.
Buns.
Oh, I almost went with that.
Plump buns.
Okay.
Plump and buns.
Plump and buns.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Nicki
Dump truck.
Minaj.
Okay.
That's
Dump
basically
truck
the same
and
thing.
Dump truck and Nicki Minaj.
Dump truck and Nicki Minaj. 3, 2, 1.
Trash.
Cardi B and trash. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and start over.
Well, no. I know what the next one is.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
What do both of those things do?
3, 2, 1.
Stink.
That sucks because I shouldn't say rap is trash. Whatever. Start over.
Wow.
Rap
is trash.
I was
That
just gonna
bad.
say
That
garbage, but wow.
Yeah, so we're gonna start
All right,
over.
let's do
Here
it.
we go. Starting over from the beginning. 3, 2, 1.
Crown.
Purple and
A
crown.
color.
Purple and crown.
Purple and crown.
This isn't that hard.
3, 2, 1.
Crown Royal.
There we go, folks. Ding, 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 ding.
See, it doesn't have to be in the same. But hamburger and toad is a lot harder. Buns. I almost said buns, but I didn't.
They both have buns.
I suppose.
I guess.
Does a
The
toad
frog
have
had
buns?
I don't
Does a
know.
toad have buns? Type it in the comments.
You know what? Go ahead.
Like and
type that in the
subscribe.
comments.
Like
You
and subscribe. Let us know
do
if toads have
a
buns.
It's the question that's been on everyone's
toads have
mind.
buns?
Okay, so let's say there's an energy transfer going on at these. And that's why there's rituals. They've figured out how to take even more energy given from the audience. Obviously, the audience has all this pent-up energy, all this built energy, and maybe even coinciding with ticket prices, even though that's probably just a monetary thing. You could say people bring more energy to it. If they've paid more,
Damn right.
they may bring...
I'm getting maximum value. Absolutely.
Okay, so that's maximum value on the energy being sucked out of them. Now, if they know how to harness that energy, because you're given energy, and you've seen when people get energy and attention, they don't like it. Some people shun it. That's probably why some people don't become rock stars. I do remember the lead singer of Euro Trash Girl, Cracker. He is very, like, even someone told me, they're like, this is a long time ago. They're like, I think he's not Asperger's, possibly.
Yeah.
And, like, after the show, he didn't really, like, want to talk to anybody and was, like, real, like, kind of standoffish and stuff. Of course, I came up to him. He's like, hey, man, I kind of want him over.
Yeah, sure.
At least in my mind.
He thought you were in the same club.
At least in my mind, he's like, there's my guy.
There's one of me.
Very much though. And so I was like, okay, this is a whole deal where I'm like, okay, now that I'm seeing that energy is being transferred to people, and some people don't, they want to disregard it. The people who want it, okay, they know how to receive this energy. This energy is all pretty much good, but even if it's bad energy, you're still getting some sort of energy transfer. Once this energy hits the artist, I don't know if it matters if it's good energy or bad energy, because they could be sucking the good energy and be doing things with the energy, and you don't even have to say energy. You could just say power. Sure. Because with that's where I was going. I don't know if I finished the thought.
The room.
With the crank room.
The crank room.
I don't know if I finished the thought earlier with the Taylor Swift thing, if she really went the full John Lennon route and said, peace, peace, peace. I think I did get to that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, how much energy has she consumed?
A lot.
Like
also
people-
like measurable energy. Like not just like the energy that we can't really quite quantify.
Oh,
but
measurable
energy.
energy.
She affects measurable energy.
No doubt.
Economically, electronically.
The whole world around her.
Everything
A
around
little
her.
Taylorverse.
She moves a city around with her. Taylorverse.
Wow.
Into the Taylorverse. That's the next documentary.
So she's collected all this energy. Now she has the ability to do things that can shift change like no other thing. I remember Sacha Baron Cohen asked Donald Trump years and years and years ago. He goes, "What's the most important thing?" Hey, boy, what's like the most important
Was he
thing?
Ali G?
He was Ali G. And Donald Trump goes, "Oh, I would have to say music." And he's like, "You're wrong, boy. It's ice cream." So fucking good, dude. So, and I never forgot that Donald Trump said music as the most popular thing on earth. And wondering now that we haven't seen a real artist who has a lot of pull come out and say certain things. You know what I mean? Like, it's very...
there's a lot of conspiracies attached to some pretty big artists that mysteriously died around the time they were aware. Like, for instance, Linkin Park's lead singer, Chris Cornell.
100%.
Like,
I didn't even think of those two, dude.
Yeah, I think that
like,
that
weren't they
happens,
making movies?
Even
Like,
Michael Jackson.
Thank you for bringing us back there. Taylor Swift is on the level of a Michael Jackson,
for sure,
of an Elvis, to where, on what?
At Harvard, 300 students signed up February 6, 2024.
For what class?
Professor is
For a Taylor Swift class?
It is the Taylor Swift class.
Effect on economics? Oh my God.
It's about everything prior to her, during, and projected business stuff.
Well, I can tell you this,
Interesting.
like in what I do, like selling promotional products and merch and stuff like that, they say that she does something like $12 million in each city. She sold over $1 billion worth of merch on the Eras tour.
Woo-wee.
That is crazy.
You should try to like reach out to her people and maybe see if you can
should.
get her shirt
I think
ordered.
she might be going factory direct to some Cambodian factory, I'm sure.
Getting some milk while she's at it
well,
too.
you know.
But okay, so she's
on the
on the
level
level
of
of Michael
Michael
Jackson.
Yeah.
What happened to Michael Jackson?
He died.
You know, we don't know. Like,
we don't
there's
know.
like looking back at our
There was
youth
a
of
major
Michael
fall
Jackson.
from grace, and there is like the new conspiracy theory, which
Elvis.
I
What
don't
happened
know-
to Elvis too?
I don't know if you're hip with like Sam Tripoli's Tinfoil Hat podcast.
I love Sam Tripoli. Haven't
But-
heard that in a while.
Okay, so but one thing that's pretty cool, and I think that we should just adopt it. But the premise of his show is conspiracy theories, and the way that they have conversations about them is any time that they're talking about a conspiracy theory, you just have to suspend all disbelief. Like, when we're talking about it, we're not saying this is how it went down. We're just having a conversation and getting some of the I heard this kind of stuff out there. You can do with it whatever you want, but for the duration of the conversation, suspend some disbelief. Because recently, like, there's been some Michael Jackson stuff came out that like maybe he wasn't the pederast that everybody painted him out to be, and that there were people that kind of controlled the music industry that were kind of...
You want me to say it?
I would rather not. But it's coming out now, and then so I do question the timing of it based on the global conversation that's happening, especially with Jews and everything else in Hollywood.
You did it.
Jews in
You
Hollywood.
did it.
But I didn't even realize it. Like, if you listen to, I can't remember, Black or White, I think.
No, it's the song where he says,
Yes. I thought it was Black or White. I could be
No.
wrong. Bad?
They don't care about us.
All they
They don't really care about us.
Anyway.
I remembered that from my youth. And I remember the whole Michael Jackson thing being like, I guess it's pretty much an open and shut case. This guy was
Totally.
diddling
Nobody was
kids.
saying anything to him because he was
Nope,
so
all the
weird.
adults were like, except
And
my
then
mom.
if you
held out.
actually see what has come to be the truth in Hollywood, the Nickelodeon kids, all of the abuse stuff, and you're like, dude, are any of these freak shows not hurting kids?
Dude, Michael Jackson is Miranda from that note you posted, Miranda with the Whippets. That's what happened. You know what I mean? Like, you got to say that person's diddling who's not diddling.
To get them off of you.
To get them off the Whippet person.
Right.
Who's
Off
doing
of Miranda doing whippets in the freezer.
Yes. That's
Like,
what
all
happened
right,
to Michael Jackson.
Who's been doing whippets in the
Yeah,
freezer?
who's in our
Who's
fountain?
doing whippets in the
These
freezer?
again?
Who's huffing gas on my
I
time?
will find
I'll
you.
find you and I will fire you.
Yeah,
and your raises, you're not getting them because I got to buy
Nope,
cameras
'cause-
now. So you can explain to all your friends, little gas huffer. You can explain to all your friends why
What,
their raise
30
got
seconds,
spent
10
on a
seconds.
$42 camera. There went their raises.
10 seconds of fun. So Michael Jackson, they threw us a curveball, possibly.
Supposedly he died.
Oh yeah, and came back as that burn victim. Have you ever seen that?
I do Taylor Swift tattoos all the time. That's awesome. Taylor's version. Supposedly he died in '89 and was replaced by a clone. Well, baby. I guess I heard a pretty gangster story about him.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, when Eminem first came out, there was a lyric that kind of accused Michael of what he was accused of, and apparently Michael was kind of real gracious about it to his people. They're like, "We got to do something about this." He's like, "No, I'm not going to do anything about it. It's okay. He can, it's art.
It's Eminem.
He can make whatever music he wants." Next day, bought up Eminem's catalog, and every time the song played, he got paid on it.
Oh man,
What a gangster.
dang!
What a gangster. But to answer your question,
I just couldn't stop thinking about him touching a little kid's nipples or something while he's listening to that song. Like, unfortunately, I hope this I'm suspending reality or whatever we think reality may be. But yeah,
but
sorry.
look at it from a different lens, though. Okay, you got this guy who never
I'm
got
trying.
I know. It
I'm
doesn't.
trying.
The optics are not great, especially
They're
because
not great.
Listen, for
But
25 years, for 30 years, we were
Yes.
told the same thing over and over. It is
Look
hard
at
to
him.
imagine a different thing. Get it? I get
He's
it.
a diddler, and you're like, okay, I guess.
I mean, I don't know why.
But people loved him, dude.
Loved him.
He would make
And
people.
he was
faint.
so childlike that, like, if he knew the atrocities that was actually taking place in Hollywood at
might
these
have been
parties and
housing them.
everything, maybe he was actually trying to give the kids like a kid experience that he didn't get as a kid.
Yeah, what was the Neverland Ranch? Because Hook was a diddler. And Neverland.
Hook was a diddler?
You never heard that theory?
Captain Hook is a kid diddler? I mean, it plays.
That's why all the boys would never grow up and they're scared of him.
Holy cow, man.
I know. So I didn't want to go there. You
Well,
made me.
I mean, it's okay because, Disney's got like Pleasure Island with Pinocchio. There's a lot of ominous.
There's weird. Pinocchio scared the daylights out of me.
When they go to the island, he's like, they're not gonna be real boys anymore.
No, I can't do. That has traumatized me more than I even know. Like when I do ayahuasca, that's what.
That's what's gonna get you?
Probably.
I'll be right there for you, bud. And I'm gonna be
They're
like,
like,
I'm a real boy. I'm a real boy. Because I can't wait.
I'm a real cop.
Oh man, hang on.
I'm a real cop.
You know what it is to be partying with Steve. Yeah, we're gonna have to call your dentist. Yeah, I think we gotta pull all of his teeth out. Dude, it's your mom. She won't stop crying.
Won't stop crying. That's my favorite line of all time, dude.
The theory that Peter Pan is the villain and Hook was trying to free them
Yeah,
from
that's
his
actually
prison.
what it is.
Peter Pan's the kid diddler?
Yeah, Peter Pan's the diddler.
And Hook's trying to free him?
Yeah, I did hear some theory. I changed it to make it sound better in the moment.
Okay.
So
That's
I'm
fair.
glad someone else saw that too.
I got
Busted. Who was that actually? Can we get
It was
him out of
Holly.
the group?
We're talking about moving people and the power of music. And so
Okay. What I mean, has science figured out, because I did watch a sports science one time and they had people try to move a car. And what are you doing? You got all
let me see that pen, Mike. I gotta write this down.
Sports Science had a episode where they had, I think, a girls roller derby team.
For St. Louis?
No, just about and about, maybe in LA, maybe, and they towed a car with different music, and they wanted to see if rock music, dance music, or classical made them tow the car faster.
The roller derby girls on skates? Well, clearly
No, maybe not on skates. Yeah, it was.
Clearly it was rock music.
Yeah.
You know a lot of roller derby gals skating around to Mozart with flying elbows.
Very good point.
Give me some Slipknot. I'm going to bust this girl's face.
That's a rough sport, dude.
It's a real rough sport.
It's real rough, dude. We should start a team.
They got one and saying we could sponsor one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's put some. Let's
Just
put some
one of
music
the
here on.
skaters, though.
Oh yeah,
not a whole team.
Yeah, one that's like probably not the best.
Yeah,
but
of
thinks
course
they, but
not.
thinks they are.
Yeah, that's
and that's the person we're gonna put it on them, and everybody's gonna hate them. We're gonna pay her a salary.
Wow.
Huh?
With stars?
Yeah. With Facebook stars. We're gonna pay her
That's
Facebook
cool.
stars.
That's cool. I like that. We are accepting stars.
The Peter of band. We are accepting stars.
All right. Well, I guess we could close up the music talk because we could go into this for are we an hour or two?
We're almost 5 minutes in. We're 5 minutes away.
Okay. Because I, for one, would like to see what would happen if stars that were huge. And I feel like some of the newer country guys kind of are more in touch with emotion and being able to break down the human saga a little bit better. You know, you played a Tyler Childers song, perfect thing.
Sure.
I think like a lot of young men are listening to this and they still feel masculine, but also in touch with their emotions, which I think is only a good thing. And
Yeah, I think we've come a long way on that.
yeah, so like we were kind of melding those two worlds, and now we're seeing. But I would like to see some of these stars kind of go out on a limb and just like not be like, I back this president. Because I remember when Britney Spears was like, I back George Bush, and I think whatever he does, he's our president, so that's probably good. You know, and I'm like, God, I remember actually thinking that way. Like, yeah, I'm sure they got our best interest
And then
at heart.
like she's standing next to him, and he's like, now watch this drive. Strike job. Just pipes it down the fairway.
We will catch all those terrorists, okay, doing those awful things. No, watch this drive.
There was, you kind of mentioned something because both nights, Thursday and Friday, were two completely different kinds of music, and I felt as though they took me to the same place, but like by totally different means. Totally different means. It's one thing getting a Korah blessing or a Didge blessing and being like, whoa, this is getting me close to God. And it's another one where this guy's like scratching guitar strings with echo and a phaser on it, and it's somehow in key with the three other people also doing like they're not even playing, they're not even like strumming or picking notes. They're like scratching harmonics, and it's like
they had to do this.
Sound that is like it's like raising. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it. Like the sound was so big and like the same kind of thing. Like I feel like the best medicine music like with Parangi because he's like a loop artist, you know. So he'll start laying a track, get some drum going, get some didge going, play the Ngoni. He's got a little like I forget what
he's got a bowl of Fruit Loops.
Called. Yeah, no bowls or spoons. Though. He's just kind of piling fruit.
Hand loops.
Yeah, hand loops.
Hand eggs and hand loops.
2%.
Did you bring your eggs to the concert?
I just threw them down the hatch. Oh my goodness! Thank you, Jason. That's very kind of you.
Jason,
500
I'm
stars.
kidding, bud. You do not have to give us star. Who was that?
Jason.
Who's Jason?
Oh, wow. Yeah, 500 stars.
Jason who?
Oh, Brandstetter.
Oh, Brandstetter?
I
love
use a
that guy.
government name. He had his name blacked out for a reason.
Oh, he did?
I don't know. I didn't even know you could
Did
do
you
that.
say that?
Wouldn't
His
even...
name is
cat.
Casey Kasem.
Thank you, Jason. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Casey Kasem.
So, yeah. So, it was interesting that whatever that is, the greats are able to take you to a place. It's interesting. It's a little different when someone's building a song from scratch. Because the coolest thing I love about Parangi is he's like, I don't know what I'm going to play. This isn't about me up here. This is about what we're all going to do. And so like he starts out with something and he'll get the audience clapping along. It is every
That's
time
like
you go
around
to see
the
Parangi,
campfire.
I'm going to see Parangi in a couple weeks again, and it will not be the same show. You know, it's going to be a totally different show because he's just riffing. And that's really cool because it's like building you up to a place. And it does feel, even though there's no plan for it, he's traveled that road enough, that sonic highway enough, that he knows the turns to take with everybody to get us to that God space, to that place where music is like something.
And he's probably
that you've
surprising
never-
himself
He
at
is.
times.
He's in it. He's in the medicine too. He's in the thing.
That's the best.
He's in the prayer. And then the other side, Friday night was such a meticulous orchestra, a symphony of industrial alternative rock, crazy electronic sounds with incredibly intense. At one point, at the very end, so for this tour, each of the 3 bands recorded one new song. So at the very end of it, the last 3 songs, well, there was an encore after, but there was one Pussifer song, one A Perfect Circle song, one Primus song, Maynard's on all 3 of them. And so started out with the A Perfect Circle, and like, so they were just made for this little 10-city tour or whatever. Awesome. They were super cool. But on each of them, everybody played. So, and then like at the very end, they played Pussifer song Grand Canyon. So fitting. We're sitting in between these rocks, you know, at Red Rock. And there are 4 guitarists on stage, 3 drummers playing, 2 bass players, because the guy that was playing bass for A Perfect Circle and Pussifer. But like, and the sound was huge. The drummers were playing one note apart, so they were like playing in the fill, like almost like everything was a triplet, you know, and then it would go back and like, I don't know how they coordinated that, but to see all of them do it, it was so well orchestrated. It was Maynard's a maestro, dude. Like that's the thing. It was such an incredible, so different. One of them was riffing. One of them was an improv that is like, I've done this enough. I know how we're going to get there. The other one was like, I'm going to press these buttons for 10,000 people, and I'm going to show them something that they've never seen before. And, you know, I mean, God is in the song, but the devil's in my feet, buddy. Ooh, I was a dancing machine. I was having so much fun, dude. It was a blast. It was awesome. But
oh,
it was
good. Craig's
so
talking
big.
about the concert again. I
Yeah.
thought we were.
Oh, it was
done.
just so big.
Thought we were done with that in hour 1. What do you think? No, we're never gonna be done.
I want to come move the camera. Is there any way we could get the dog to bark too?
Hey, the cat's like, hey, make some noise up there.
Cat's like, I'm down here enjoying Dad, and you're not.
Make some noise up there.
Let's go to break. And we'll
Let's
come
break
back
it.
And,
I got a little
I
gab.
want to talk about your weekend a little bit.
Just got a little gab, and
I
then
love
we'll sing a song on the way out.
I like it.
We'll sing A Perfect Circle.
I got in A Perfect Circle song.
Do you?
I
Not
got
play
a
one of
couple
those?
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, we can do that. I'll get the mic. All right. That's okay.
Warfare against the despicable, dope-peddling vulture who preys on the weakness of his fellow man.
Forget everything you know about America's war on drugs. Where it started, when it started, and most importantly, who was involved. This is a war we are still fighting today. A war that began at the beginning of the 20th century. The illicit international drug trade was created and structured by some of the most notorious gangsters in American history. This is the untold history of America's original drug lords.
I seen all these bombed out buildings, all this violence. What are you doing? This is your neighborhood. These are your people.
St. Louis is often described as one of the most divided cities in the country.
The opioid crisis is the biggest public health emergency.
Are solved with a
The
gun.
number of homicides in St. Louis this year passed 200.
This is about making a human connection.
You have to be able to see that there is some hope down the road.
I wanted to go where nobody else will, where everybody's scared to go. Show that God hasn't forgotten.
What about the nights when the pistol's getting popped? Is you there? You telling me to quit? You might as well. It ain't working. Man, I can't do that, man. Your camera's off now. This real shit. What's the point in having faith if you're not going to take a risk, if you're not going to take a chance, if you're not going to put yourself in harm's way for the sake of a greater good? What's the point? Well, you can tell it's Friday night. Y'all, let's have a word of prayer real quick. Lord, we praise you. We thank you for your goodness and your mercy. We thank you.
I've seen this city, and I've seen the spirit of these people, and I've watched these folks fight for their neighborhoods, street by street, house by house.
I started to say I hate to be so preachy, but I am a preacher. But anyway, we're just so blessed. Say hi, Reverend Brown.
Hey, everybody. Hello.
That just dead?
Just forget it. That was just dead air. We're sitting here. They're just looking at us.
Oh my God! There was a song playing.
There
guys.
was a song playing. Maybe we'll give it to you later.
As you promised me that I was more than all the miles combined, you must have had yourself a change of heart like halfway through the drive. The bus straight off exactly as you passed my exit sign. Kept on driving straight and left our futures to the right. I'm stuck between my anger, the pain that I can't place, memories and something even. Smoking weed is not a place. I'm terrified of weather. See you when it rains. Doc told me to travel, but there's COVID on the planes. And I love her mom, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault. I just like to play the victim. I drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. And I dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now your tire tracks and one pair of shoes on a split in half that'll have to do. So I thought if I piled something good and all my bad, I could cancel out the darkness I inherited from Dad. You know I'm no longer funny, and I miss the way you laugh. Once called me forever, now you still can't call me back. And I love her mom, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, I just like to play the victim. I drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. And I dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now you're tire tracks and one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half. That'll have to do. Oh, that'll have to do. My other half was you. I hope this pain's just passing through, but I doubt it. And I love her mom, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. And I dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now your tire tracks and one pair of shoes, while I'm split in half. That'll have to do, have to do.
All right. That was Noah Khan. Noah Kahan.
Noah Kahan. Kahaney. Apologies for the break in the.
No. Do not apologize.
Okay, you're right. Mondays are for the Hoosiers. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you guys for jamming. Everybody seems to like that. Miguel Ote says, Mike's. Thanks for being here, Mike. To let
Mike's
us know
gone.
the mics weren't working. We were already playing music, Mike,
Mike's
so we
gone.
didn't
Mike's
hear
gone,
it.
and
Pal. Mike leaves, the thing falls
and the
apart.
thing falls apart immediately when he's gone. Mike, come back. Mike, come back.
Let's just go to that little guy. Uh-oh. Oh, we changed the name of it. That's why it doesn't switch over. I was going to get the chat up there, but I'm looking here. We got Mondays for the Hoosiers. You had what'd you do this weekend, bud?
Oh man,
Sorry, it took me 2 hours to talk about myself. I'm sorry.
This is the gab portion of our show.
I'm
It's
a
the
gabber.
first. It's the first portion of our show. We do have 3 more segments coming up
Yes,
after this, which
Tartaria.
is nice. Which is nice. We're gonna break down Tartaria.
Yes,
and the
Tartaria-
mole people.
Oh, and one more thing.
Tunnels.
There was one.
There.
other thing.
Oh, we are gonna break down that one. thing.
Little
It's super important.
Giants!
It's super important.
We are gonna. I'm glad you guys got here in time. We've got some Little Giants talk. For
We
you.
do. Becky, oh, Becky, oh.
Call me Icebox.
Becky, call me Icebox, Becky. Becky.
Oh, you think you owe us $1? They said the song made up for the silence.
Shoo-wee. Shoo-wee?
Shoo-wee. That's
That
how we make it
changes
ourselves.
That changes it.
Shoo-wee.
Shoo-shee.
Sushi?
Sushi.
I like sushi.
I
like some sushi.
Oh, don't. You'll
I like
get killed. What is that?
Sushi?
If you say it like that, that's good.
I like sushi.
That's like a Norwegian guy. That's cool.
Yeah.
You
thank
can do
you.
that.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was pretty cool.
Flirting, sushi.
Nearby the fjord.
Fjorgen.
Fjorgen.
I had a great weekend, man.
Talk to me, Goose.
Just so awesome as usual, dude. No, I did have a phenomenal weekend. Did a little fishing, but also
You
like
have some lips, bud?
Yeah, but now I'm finding fishing, like, since I haven't been as successful as I'd like to be, and maybe people are in the same boat as me, getting to be about the age of 40, that leisure things aren't as leisure anymore because you feel like time might be slipping away.
Ooh,
and
interesting.
That these things that you did in your leisure time, if you're not set up right now, if you're not like have a nice little setup, it's tough to be leisurely.
I get it.
And I wonder how
Time
many
you could be
people
working, earning, whatever, but you gotta,
And I have no idea how many people my peers have it have a nice setup for themselves
Have
and
it
a
together.
nice setup for the future. Like I heard there's this professor who comes on my For You page on TikTok, and they're always just breaking down different historical things, and they were talking about how in all of history the best time to be alive was right pre-1973 in America, like those 20 years before that, because it was the highest increase and the most a
In
person
wealth and-
like the most advantage you could make for yourself at any time, at any point.
Yeah, we
in
were
the
enjoying
world.
the spoils of war for sure.
No doubt, dude. So now that we have a foot in the decline, and we're 83, so it's like we got to kind of see because this guy did Ray Dalio, and he is has something to do with the financial markets, and I can't remember what exactly his position was, but he's kind of like a not a soothsayer, but someone who has his pulse.
Got good predictions.
Yes, that's fun. That's a fun deal. Now spray him.
Right in my ear.
Spray
me in my ear. That'll get me hard, dude. That'll get me so hard. I like it when a female sprays me.
Right? So Ray Dalio, he had this map of all these financial indicators of all of the empires throughout history, and they all kind of hit this bell, curve, and we're on the downside of ours, obviously, and China's is all their economic factors are, they're kind of the next one, which I was like, yeesh, whatever. But this professor was saying that how the 73, that was when you could really make the most for yourself at that period of time. So this weird space that we're in, that it's like, I do remember that when it was good. It's good for my parents. Pretty good for people who are our parents' age now.
Sure.
Like most of the neighborhoods I work in, like the bigger houses, it's older people I see in all the houses and neighborhoods, like walking around.
Sure.
and to get to this long point, I wonder how many of my peers, because it's not something you're like, hey, man, how you doing? How you set up for the future? Which maybe that should become a little bit more common speak between the common folk. Is like, hey, you setting yourself up for the future,
Yeah,
bud?
we have to kind of abandon the notion of like,
Don't
you know,
discuss
not
salaries
talking
and-
about what you're.
You don't wanna be, like, gloating, though.
and you definitely don't want to do that. But like, it's not a bad idea to share. You know, you got a 401, you got an IRA working. You looking at any property out there?
Yeah.
You got any business side? You know, got any side gig ideas? Like,
Yeah, that needs to become
I
more
mean, that's
of my
100%.
lexicon.
I mean, that's something, you know, whatever. It's the whole thing. It's like you're going to be as good as the people you surround yourself with. And like that, but that applies to so many things, because I've been in circles where like the majority of these guys are like entrepreneurs making really good money, but like they didn't get it. Like
they didn't get any of your jokes.
No, like I'm talking. You know what I mean though. Like what they were prioritizing. I'm like, that sounds kind of.
They're like,
I mean, I get it. It's fine.
Prioritizing Rolexes and stuff like that.
Yeah, just prioritizing material things and equating
yeah, and
it
I
to
think that's
happiness.
part
And
of
I
our
think
generation
I think
too.
that there's something to that, but
that there is like monetary wealth meant getting more things, meant
Sure.
consuming more awesome stuff, which I feel like we've hit a pinnacle of that to where, you know, you saw, I don't know if you saw this, but Justin Bieber and like Billie Eilish had like clothing lines.
yeah, they were like like brown sweats and like they look like garbage, like Mugatu and Zoolander, like the derelict line.
They had derelict campaigns.
Yeah.
And really those clothes could derelict my balls, Capitan. But I go, oh, we kind of broke it. You know what I mean? We got to the point where high-end fashion, it's like, you know what? You can pay $1,000 for this beige shirt that has a smiley face on it.
It's a little stained.
And I feel like kids, especially having a teenager now, where they're like, yeah, that's kind of dumb. They're kind of like selling us on trash bags and trying to say that this guy wears it. Because
there's still people that spend thousands of dollars on Jordans.
For sure.
Which to me, I don't get it. Like I get sneaker.
The sneaker game, I kind of understand, even like as an investment to a certain extent.
Well, no, it's because it's become that thing.
Yeah.
But intrinsic value.
Yeah, status symbol.
It's a foam tennis shoe.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
horrible.
It's not
made
a
by,
hand sewn Italian loafer.
Yeah, you're right.
Like it's
not a Rolls Royce. It's
just,
like
I don't know.
really
Like,
nice.
It's the exact same thing.
Jaguar.
Doing what I do, like the brand that is like just the hottest right now is Champion.
I know. How about that?
It's insane.
How about that?
And I'm selling a favorite.
Nerds wore Champion.
Are you kidding me?
Settle down.
My
dude.
mom gave me a Champion shirt. To wear. I'm like, do you want me to get killed on the way to school for being the biggest dork of all time? In my $1.47 Champion.
Give me my
t-shirt?
high umbros.
Come on,
you
bud.
fool.
Help me out. Help me out. I'm
Yeah,
trying to wear
no,
some
I get
body
you.
glove or something.
How about Carhartt like making a resurgence?
Also, yeah, that's Carhartt's always been like kind of more expensive workwear though.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
But yeah, it definitely
had like
has made a popular. You know, they're great, they're fine. You know, like
fashion's kind of a weird
fashion's
deal.
Bizarre, dude.
But okay, so getting back to the original point of, I don't know how people are doing in this time and age, because it does feel like things are falling apart around you, and I just want to be able to enjoy the leisure things without the back of my mind feeling like the entire system is very close to crumbling.
Well, I think
and if I was set up a little better, would I worry about the system crumbling as much? Like, I made the joke earlier that, okay, so 60% of houses got bought up by corporations last year in 2023. And I thought, oh, they just want to rent to us. That's going to be the thing. We heard Klaus Schwab say,
you won't own anything and you'll like it.
So I'm like, oh, they're just going to rent to us. But now I'm like, what? Because I've always been curious ever since I found out about fiat currency, like down a rabbit hole back, like in the YouTube days of like being like, I was like in college and being like, oh, fiat currency is when it's not attached to anything. Okay. And then realizing our dollar is still attached to at least oil. So I'm like, okay, well, at least it's got a basis in oil. That's cool. And now that countries have tried to not sell the oil, we had to go send a little freedom over there. And now countries have made a bunch of deals behind our back where they're trading with each other without dollars, and we're printing a bunch of dollars. And if I was a part of whatever scheme that might be afoot, would I be holding a lot of these dollars that have been given to me? No. I would be purchasing assets with all of these dollars that are soon to be confetti money here. Sure. And you think that can never really happen. I do still think that can't happen to the dollar. Like,
it's happening.
But every clue that comes up on my timeline, because you said something interesting earlier about taking little things, suspending belief, and then just going into it and asking what if. Because I feel like a lot of the things, since we've been doing this for like 5-6 years now, it's like, a lot of the little clues we picked up along the way, like your sound frequency cymatics. Now thinking about that with Tool and Snow Raven. Putting those, okay, now what kind of frequencies are we energy harvesting with 432 or whatever? You're putting all these clues together now that we've been around for so long, getting back to the original point of being 40 and feeling like I can't buy into leisure things because I have to
enjoy leisure time because
my time is maybe fleeting a bit more.
Man, I mean, I think that is maybe a reason to lean into it. Maybe more.
Sure.
Because, I mean, the question is like, how much are you going to affect? Now, I like the idea, and as your friend would encourage, and I hope, we can drive each other to do this, we need to make some kind of big move in the next year or two.
Yeah.
Because, well, for instance, dude, I saw something yesterday, maybe today. The average American household is spending $11,000 more a year for groceries, gas,
rent.
It's
finally starting to
$11,000 more a year than they were 18 months ago. That's hyperinflation. That's super fast. And man, I mean, they've been the money printer has been going nonstop since 2008.
And that's kind of where I'm at in my head too. It's like, okay, I lean into these leisure things and I kind of set myself up, but not the greatest, not paying attention to all the clues. And then it's like, oh, you won't be able to enjoy any leisure things.
Yeah, you can't do that to
it's
yourself.
A hellscape.
Because what are we doing if not like for me? That's what I was saying.
Well, that's why I'm trying
with
to
your circle, keeping your circle, and I was in business network and so BNI and things like that. When you kind of really for a lot of those people, that was the extent of their social lives. It was always networking. It was always selling something, always being on for someone else. That is exhausting. It's an exhausting thing. And also, I don't live to work. I work to live. And yes, there is something to be said for am I stowing enough acorns for the winter? Am I doing that? Yeah. That should always be kind of a driving force. But I think, around the time my dad was sick and everything, I think something really changed for me because in my 20s, I was fortunate to have a pretty high paying, job. I was a commission only guy, but I was making pretty good money and really getting to enjoy my life. Even being, a young dad and everything, I was traveling, doing some cool stuff, but I was empty and I was not prioritizing the most important thing of all of that, which was my time, because you're also 20 and you're going to live forever. And, but I learned around the time that my dad got sick. My dad wasn't planning on dying at 60 years old. You know what I mean? And I even in my head for the longest time, just kind of as a kid, well, when I turn 30, it's just going to work out. I'll be able to take my family on vacations and I'm going to be able to afford, that was just something you took for granted because your folks were making it happen. And so that's something that I've always, I had this idea, I'm going to grow up. It just happens. You just grow up and things just come together for you. And that's not the case, obviously. But I always felt like I was playing on, I was playing with just unlimited time. And then I saw my dad get sick. And I thought I was just, because I put off my earning and my success and all of that, the only regrets I have are not being able to take my folks on a vacation like they took their folks on a vacation. That would have been awesome. And I realized that I was taking for granted that I was just going to get that opportunity.
Yeah.
When my folks were in their 60s. I'm going to go take them on a
yeah.
And once I saw that happen, I'm like, okay, well, money's not the most important thing. What I'm doing with my time and the amount I'm finding myself smiling and being around people that I love, that is what I value the most. That is my currency. My friendships are my currency. My relationships with other people are my currency. Obviously, I'm going to work as much as I can to be able to do fun things with them.
Yeah.
But there's another argument to be made. Like, if you are the hustle, you can just be the place. You can be the person that facilitates it, and everybody comes. I always think about like my folks' friends and stuff that had like the awesome house with the in-ground pool and the trampolines and like just all of the fun stuff. I'm like, oh, this guy's got it figured out. You know what I mean? Because we had a pretty modest little situation, you know. So there is something like really cool about being the guy, but also at this stage of my life, even still, because I think I'm like, man, am I putting enough away? Yeah. Am I ever going to be able to retire? Do I need to retire? Like, that's the other thing is like I've kind of found a way to work. To do a career that's like not physically demanding. I could probably do this as long as I wanted to do it, you know. But like I'm already not married to a desk. I put a priority on my time over what I earn. But I hear what you're saying. Like when if bills get tight or anything like that, like. Being one emergency away from like the whole game flipping on you, like, do I have enough setback? You know, I understand, I get it. What I'm trying to do is figure out how to make sure that's as taken care of as best as I think I can do it without hating my life.
Sure.
While maximizing my experience, you know, my
totally.
experience.
And this ties into what I've kind of been wrestling with, the manifesting thing, because obviously our group is like manifest and infestation over there, you know what I mean?
Sure.
It'll all be manifested. And a part of me obviously is like, get out. I'm not even like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, duh, you know what I mean? Like manifesting, you're kind of manifesting everything at all times. But then as I'm having those thoughts previously, like we were talking about, it's like, am I manifesting negative things by not, because I even said to Jen, like, you know, sometimes you get the, it's like, I don't want to always make the best of things. Like, totally. I know I always need to make the best of things.
Sure.
I know that as what we've talked about.
Silver lining
but it's like, I don't want to always have
Sometimes
to
I want
find
to
the
get to
best.
the diamond. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which is also like, as you say that, you start saying, oh, okay, poor
Sure.
little guy.
Sure.
But everybody's going through certain things at certain times. It doesn't matter what it is. You're just going through it. So do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so I'll go ahead and put it out there now. Like, you said something about making a big move and the manifesting. Like, I would love for people to incorporate themselves, or if they have an idea for us, because like what we've built with the community and these people here, I wonder sometimes if they're yearning for us to say, yeah, come with us. Yeah. Come with us, do some stuff with us.
I mean, I would put out like anybody that wants to have like a commercial made for any kind of, you know, entrepreneurial endeavor or something you have.
Yeah, you
got to reach out to us. We'll make something really cool
Yes.
for you to put on your socials. We can be a part of your success. You can be a part of ours. We'll do something super fun.
Because that's one thing I always thought this show would be, to the point where we'd be like, oh, do this, and you know, like what, go to this company, which I think a lot of people did, because you know, we've based our reputation on being like, we love the people we've done business with basically so far.
Yep.
And as far as shows go and advertising, it's not like that. It's whoever's going to give you money. That's on the station.
We were very selective.
Which we wrestle with that.
Yeah,
you
we
know
were
what
very
I mean?
selective about wanting to do business with people that we at least aligned with. But there's also a lot of room for us to do business for people. What we found was the most valuable thing. Like, sure, we can record a commercial, and we like to have little breaks so we can set up different things or whatever. So we can play them on the show. But the value is, and what we saw is like when we would give a commercial to one of our sponsors and they ran it on their socials, it would take off. And people would be like, this is the funniest thing. They would come back and say, this is the most interactive thing we have. That's what we want to do. A lot of people have social media managers, but those social media managers, they like recycle memes for all of the pages that they handle. We want to make custom, funny, engaging content for people we love's brands, and anybody that you think is looking for something engaging that we can work out packages, because what people pay social media companies and things like that for the most basic nothing, we'll work out a deal with you. Like And honestly, dude, we were doing that. We just, we took a little hiatus.
Yeah.
It was a lot. There was a time though when we were running, 7 sponsors.
Oh,
and and doing live events, and we'll get back to that stuff. But I love the idea of this community, what it is, and everybody's always talking about, kind of tongue in cheek, but not really, like the commune. Well, we have a digital commune, and everybody's got their own little shopping skill.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. Like, I would love to, do something creative to allow you to advertise what you do. That would be fun. That would be super fun. And it's just another way for us to not only give back to the community, but celebrate it.
Yes,
I
I
think
would
it's a
like
great
this
idea.
thing to be its own like self-sustaining resource center where, some people are like, oh, you guys are looking to get out of Steve's basement. I got this building down here that you guys can set up a green
We've got
screen.
2
and have
places
some
that
ideas.
are being built, like first come, first service where I'm at.
I feel guilty by wanting to spread joy and being able to somehow turn that into a life where I can provide for my family. And I think I've taken steps in that direction, but I'm not sure if I've ever really fully given it. I almost feel like it's one of those things like, oh, someone will notice me over here. When it's like, no, bud, sometimes you got to get out there, grab the girl you want to dance
The
with,
number one rule in
and
sales
pull
is
her
that
out.
you have to ask for the sale. Like, that's the number one rule. Like, there's a lot of guys that, like, that's hard. Like, the idea of, like, the hard close. But you have to ask for the sale in order to get. There are people.
But see, then
if you're just waiting for someone to come to you, then you're just an order taker. But
see, even then, but like saying always asking for the sale, it's almost like I'm always
Feels
asking you
gross.
for the sale. But no,
But that's
it's
not
like a collaborative
the
thing.
idea is when the conversation's happening, and that's the whole thing. Is this isn't even we're not even selling you at this point. I think at this point, just to kind of build up a really cool portfolio to show social
Just
media managers
do
and advertising
fun
agencies.
things,
Bring us an idea, we'll make it for you. It's yours. And we'll just do something fun that you
we
can
got
engage.
cameras, we got
we
little
got
stupid.
we got everything.
We
you
have
can need.
all the
Sound
stupid
equipment,
ideas,
every
and we need a
instrument
place
and
to
sound
put 'em.
maker and every sound maker you can.
When
think of.
McChesney ran that video and he said, "This got more likes than my wedding that I just posted."
Yeah.
And he said he had so many people reach out to him and be like, dude, I didn't know you had that in you. Like, it was so great to see that
we did
side
that
of
in
you.
8 seconds.
We were kind of goofing around.
We
We were like,
goofed
you
off.
want to shoot a commercial for it? And he's like, sure. And we found stuff around the
Rubber
studio.
gloves, a weight.
Kept silly sounds. And
It was
what are we
great.
doing? It's amazing, man. And if we could figure out a way, like, I'll put it out there.
It's a way
I
for us to
want
play
that
with our
as a
friends,
life,
too.
man.
It's a way for us to play with our friends. It's great.
It's a way for us to play with our friends. And then for them to play with us.
I wanted to run it back just a little bit. Dude, are y'all into that baseforge.us cymatics page? No, but I am now.
Yeah, what's that?
Baseforge.us. I don't know. I'm finna check it out.
Okay.
Sounds like it's a cymatics page though.
Okay, it does.
But yeah, hit us up. You got a little business, maybe you got a little Etsy side hustle,
Got a little
whatever.
something.
If you're trying to drive people
Let's be creative
to your
together.
thing, let's make something fun together. Hey, let's mind meld. Do you want to mind meld?
It's Mind Meld.
Okay, let's do it.
Mind Meld song, get them out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, Mind Meld. Ready?
3, 2,
1.
Shoes.
Cocaine.
Shoes and cocaine. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Shit, no. 3, 2, 1.
Sniff.
Heels. That was beautiful. That was so good. God,
I get it. It's frustrating. Okay, your
I
heels.
missed.
Your heels.
I missed on that one.
Cocaine. I can see cocaine. What are you doing? A little Studio 54 vibe.
Yeah, I know. That was
what you're-
dumb.
So we got sniff and
Heels.
Okay. All right.
Sniffing heels.
Sniff and heels. 3, 2, 1.
Feet.
OnlyFans.
I almost said OnlyFans. I almost freaking said OnlyFans. God! I had OnlyFans, Little Piggies, and I was like, he's probably gonna go something basic. He's an idiot. Feet. All right, try it one more time. We'll start over
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, hang on a second. Geomatrix, Static in the Attic, Sacred Geometry and the Architecture of Space and Time ebook. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, baseforge.us.
Thank you.
I'm into it. Thank you, James.
Thank you,
I'm gonna
Baseforge.
check it out.
Let's call him Baseforge from now on.
James, from now on, you're called Baseforge.
That is
dude.
dope.
That sounds
dude.
like an X
Is
Factor.
Baseforge coming over? Oh God, Baseforge is coming
Baseforge is
over
coming.
again. Yeesh. He always comes in going, Baseforge. Hit him with the right. Baseforge. He always like, how did you do? How are you doing that?
And then every now and then he comes in and he's like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?"
Oh, freaky girl.
Freaky naughty. Okay. So Baseforge, that's great. Oh, 3, 2, 1. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Football.
Compact disc player.
Football and compact disc player.
I got it. I know exactly the combining thing. I know exactly. You're gonna feel dumb if you don't get this one. There's a thing that combines them both from our youth.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Starter
Jock
jacket.
Jams. Jock Jams
and starter jacket.
Jock Jams is.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Charlotte
Whoop, there
Hornets.
it is. Damn, that's a good one. Okay.
Okay.
Wait. What did I say?
Whoop, there it is.
Okay, and you said Charlotte Hornets?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Grandmama.
Grandmama!
Oh, man.
That
God,
made
that
me feel
feels
as
good.
alive as
That's
Red
like
Rocks.
cocaine. That's like
better
cocaine.
than cocaine and feet.
Put that on your next jacket. Better than cocaine and feet. Guys, thank you. Thank you for
so
being a
much.
part of this little thing and making it to the end. What are you, a freak? You
Yeah,
waited
they
till
are.
you
They're freaky nice.
hung out till the end.
What are we gonna play, bud? You guys got any requests? Unless you're a sweet little old lady in Piedmont, we don't do requests.
Oh,
And she
what
was
about?
hot. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot. I brought you back something from Red Rocks.
Don't you
I
dare.
did. It was the only rock that wasn't red. I brought you some quartz back from Red Rocks.
I'll keep it. I made a mistake once. I will never make that mistake again. I washed what's-her-faces. I tumbled it in my jeans. Elise gave me a rock.
Oh, yeah?
I tumbled it. Yeah, I haven't been throwing cool rocks.
What did we decide?
I realized there are rocks
I
for
actually
throwing.
did get you something else, but I thought it was in my wallet, and it's not. So I'll bring it to you next week. What are we?
You're just going to hop on board with it, so it's good there.
Mama's got a squeeze box she wears on her chest. When her daddy comes home, she don't get no rest because she's playing all night. And the music's alright. Mama's got a squeeze box, daddy never sleeps at night. When the kids don't eat and the dog can't sleep, there's no escape in the whole damn street. Cause she's playing all night, and the music's alright. Mama's got a squeeze box, daddy never sleeps at night. She goes in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out, because she's playing all night, and the music's alright. Mama's got a squeeze box, daddy never sleeps at night. Squeeze me, go on and squeeze me, go on and squeeze me like you do. I'm so in love with you. Mama's got a squeeze box, daddy never sleeps at night.
That's a pretty good one.
I love The Who, but I also love one other thing.
You do? Hang on a second. I was trying to
love
think
The
about
Who.
the.
But I also love one other thing.